This is how coaching happens. This is how what happens in the NFL, the NBA, pageant coaching and everything. Everybody's excited at first. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The second step is always harder than the first. The third step is easier than the second. And by the 10th step, you're doing it like clockwork. So you are still in the in-between stuck step of 1 and 2, which is the excitement and the actual, how do I do this?
This is the Kim Gravel Show.
Let's just go on and spill the tea.
This is one of the realest persons I've ever met.
My mission is to encourage every single woman. We're here to lift y'all up.
There's no one more effective than moms.
You mess with the bull, you gonna get the horns.
I need coffee, I need Jesus, and I need therapy.
If you can bring a smile to people's faces, why would you not?
True confidence is knowing who you are and why you're here.
Hey y'all, Kim Gravel here, and this is the Kim Gravel Show. And this season, we're going to be talking about how we're going to level up our lives and walk boldly in our confidence. We're stepping into our purpose, and we're going to do that together. Talk about stepping into your purpose, Zach. We've got Blythe and Carrie on again. We did some hot seat coaching not too long ago, and Blythe was very, very transparent about what is holding her back. She's wanting more in her life and doesn't know the steps to take, or didn't at the time. We gave her some homework. She did it. I'm going to have to do some tough love today, Zach. A little tough love.
Why is that, Kim?
Well, they did the videos and they did one video and then they kind of petered out. We didn't hear back from them. We didn't, they were waiting on us to connect. And I was kind of just, letting people show you who they are and how bad do they want it. And, I truly believe in this girl. I believe in her and her sister. I believe they've got something to offer and something special. So today is going to be a little bit of tough love from Coach Kim. But I've got some ideas how to get them back on track and get them confident in stepping into their calling. So y'all, stay tuned. We've got some hot seat coaching with Blythe and Carrie right after this. Hey y'all, it's Kim Gravel here. And I got a question for you. Are you ready to level up your life? Are you tired of having all the self-doubt? Well, if you are, I've got a confidence quiz you've got to take, because no matter where you are in the journey of your life, right now is where you start to be everything you were meant to be. So head on over to kimgravel.com to find out how confident you really are. Let's go. Okay, today we are welcoming back the brunette with a booty, Blythe, and her sister Carrie. Blythe, as you remember, is a stay-at-home mom. She's 33 years old, 3 kids, 9, 11, and 3. She said she needs to figure out what she wants to do next. Her biggest dream is to have her whole family perform together. Doesn't know exactly what that's going to look like, but the last time we talked to Blythe and her sister Carrie, they were going to take a few steps and start in the direction of their calling. Let's recap, though. Blythe and Carrie, are y'all there?
Yeah, we're here.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
I love you, girl. I'm so glad you're back. You're in this hot seat coaching moment again for the second time. I want to recap, though, from the first time you were on, Blythe, on the show. So take a listen, everybody.
I think that I have taken on my husband's life, and that I have been kind of taught you need to be content in the life that you're living. And I do need to be content. It is true. But I think that I'm not using the gifts that God has given me to pursue the dreams that I've always wanted. And and I don't even know exactly what those dreams are, but I know that they've been put inside of me.
I know exactly how you feel, and every woman listening to this can relate. You have said you make excuses. You have said you feel trapped. You have said you feel like you are not enough. You have said, who do you think you are? Everything you're feeling is going to be a catalyst for others to walk through this journey with you, Blythe. You're stepping into your calling. So if you were not a farmer's wife and a mother, what would you be doing?
When I was younger, I made so many videos with my brothers and sisters, and we just were in front of the camera, and that's where we shined, and that's where we had like our fun time. And so I think if I was not a wife on a farm, I would probably be trying to MC as many pageants as I could. I'd be trying to make videos online. I would want my brothers and sisters involved in everything I was doing because they're incredibly talented too.
I've got some homework for Blythe. So this is what I want you to do. You've been so transparent tonight, and you have said that you and your sister used to make these videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to start making some videos for me.
Oh.
I'm going to send you both a box full of Belle Beauty. I got to get you doing the do. You got to get going because you got to start feeling alive again, fulfilled again, and satisfied again so that you can go another step. Okay, that we're leveling up. You can't go from here to here. You got to take one step at a time. So this next step is just getting busy about doing the thing first, because you're going to find what you think a call and a purpose is not a job. It's not what you do. It's your why you do it. So, all right, Blythe, the last time we talked, you felt trapped in your current situation. You said you were making excuses. You cared about what other people thought too much. Tell me where you're at today, girl.
Well, I will tell you, I think I needed to hear myself say those words. I'd never really gotten like very deep and kind of got behind why I felt that way. And so you pulled that out of me. And so I kind of needed to hear that. But I would say my daily life has changed. I have my moments, but I learned how negative I was being. And after talking with you, I was able to, I think Carrie's noticed it too, is I've just been like, no, I don't care. I'm going to go do what I need to do and be who I want to be. And so I've had great feedback from people here in town. And they said, I don't know why you feel that way, because we love the show and we just know exactly how you feel.
You.
Yeah.
Well, Blythe apart from mom and wife.
Wow. Oh, okay. Explain all that. What do you mean? People from your hometown and everyone's seeing you different. What do you mean by that, Blythe? What do you mean by you were negative? You thought you were being negative.
I think I was being negative about myself, and I don't know that I even carried myself with confidence. And I don't think that other people saw me that way. I think other people saw me as confident and bubbly and having fun. And I said last time that I like to make other people feel good. But I think I was so focused on others that I wasn't worried about how I was feeling inside. And so I have finally just decided, well, you know what? I am what I am. So here she is. Okay.
Here she is. I like here she is. I like me some Blythe. All right. So talk to me about how you've made steps, if any, about moving towards your calling and purpose, because you are right in the throes, baby girl, of raising children. So how do you feel about that? Are you putting that on the back burner? Are you just dabbling in it? Tell me how you feel about moving forward and the more that you want of your life.
Right. Yes. Well, in the beginning, like I was coming off the Kim Gravel show on a high. I was like, oh, let's do this. We got this. We are just going to be, yeah. So, in the beginning, I was like, I making plans and everything. And, I still am. And so I can say that during our videos, we've made a lot more videos than you all have seen. We just, we make them about 87 times. And decide that we like one.
You know, those videos that we made as a kid, Blythe would always be the one to be like, okay, wait, let's start over. I'm like, keep going. Let's just keep going. So that's, I think, why we thrive on live.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no
Because, well, yeah, you can't, it's just all out there. What you see is what you get. And you can't come back, like, with the videos, we're like, oh, gosh, delete that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want to talk to y'all about today, because y'all sent me one video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't you sent more, just out of curiosity?
Well, we've made more. They're there.
Okay. Okay.
One of them we filmed an entire face of makeup. And it was about 13 minutes long, and we were like, okay, well, we'll take it and edit it. And we could never figure out like how to edit it, and her 11-year-old's trying to help us. And we were eventually going to go talk to the speech and debate coach at Cherokee and be like, you seem like maybe you know computers. Could you help? And never really got there. So do you want to help?
You were doing fine.
Okay.
So yes, anyway, we've got, like I said, we've got all the videos. So we need to throw them out there probably and just see where they
Maybe
land.
be a little less critical of ourselves too. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's why that's why I asked you the question. This is a very typical response and a typical, I call it gig lag. Okay. You know how you have jet lag and you come off of a plane and you feel like in a different time zone and you're just lagging. I call it, gig lag, meaning what you're doing in your life. You get going and you have this burst of energy, like you said, Blythe, and then the realization steps in and the work steps in. And so, I knew this was going to happen. That's why I've purposely waited and waited and waited. This is how coaching happens. This is what happens in the NFL, the NBA, pageant coaching and everything. Everybody's excited at first. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The second step is always harder than the first. The third step is easier than the second. And by the 10th step, you're doing it like clockwork. So you are still in the in-between stuck step of 1 and 2, which is the excitement and the actual, how do I do this? Everybody got a dream. And people don't mind doing the work. But once they start living in that dream and start working in that dream, they have huge perfectionism and expectation issues that they're thinking, oh, this is not good enough to be a step 10. But you ain't trying to be at step 10. You're trying to be at step 2. Does that make sense?
Yes,
And
so much sense.
You've done the work, but you have made an excuse and put it on the shelf because you think you're still not good enough.
That is exactly right.
Yeah, that is.
I'm serious. I'd love to know what your thoughts about it. It's like, why not send all the videos?
Yeah,
I had a Celine Dion impression.
Yeah, there was a Celine Dion impression.
Well, you're going by the end of this, you're going to send the videos and Zach's going to edit them. But I'm just wanting to know, why not the press send?
Yeah, I think it just, God, it's scary. It's like, oh my goodness, I don't really feel like this is our best work. It is some work. Is it our best work? I don't know, because we are just, we're silly. We're silly on there. And it's just like, I don't know that other people will find it as...
I'm getting ready to meet with a gentleman who has 30 million followers on YouTube, and everything he does is silly. Every single thing he does is silly. Like, I'm meeting with him to figure out how to launch his brand. He has 30 million followers on YouTube, and everything he does is silly. This is what stops most people from living in their purpose and calling and being truly successful, is because you're looking at yourself, Blythe and Carrie, through a lens that no one else is looking at you at. Do you know how many people would love to see your videos and love to like your videos and love to really connect with you on that level?
I guess I never thought about that.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, if y'all were here on Kim of Queens or at the pageant place or wherever, and I was coaching you guys, this would be the tough love moment. This would be that moment where I was like, okay, girl, now look, you say you want to do this, but how bad do you want it?
Oh, right. Yes.
No. You tell me. How bad do y'all want it?
Oh,
because y'all can have it, because you're both gorgeous and hilarious and fabulous.
so sweet, Kim. Thank you. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? I want as bad as you. I want as bad as you. All right. We want it bad, Kim.
Kim, they're doing bits right here. They're just doing bits. This is great.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is hilarious right here. But they don't even know that. They think they're just being silly, and they're not. You're being so relatable. I mean, who comes on a podcast and gets like lambasted about not going to step 2 and going, I don't know. How bad do we want it? How bad do we want it? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. Well, I want it real bad.
Okay.
Yeah, we have another pageant lined up. We do. As far as like live work, we do have our next pageant lined up in August. I don't know if it'll be an MC gig. It might be a performance gig in combination with that.
We sing too, so they have us.
Yes, and I've been working on getting a worship night at the church where we can kind of start our like Shonda Pierce, Mark Lowry, Kim Gravel worship and make people laugh type of. That's kind of where my head goes. But this is you.
Well,
so
you can take me, pull me along.
Well, you seem to be doing that to me. So anyhow,
I think you guys have found your buddy. I think you guys have found your sweet spot, and where you both feel most confident is with each other. I mean, it's yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? I think, and that happened very organically the last show. But what I'm going to challenge y'all with on this show is to say, what do you think is next for you? And as a coach, this is where I would push you out of your comfort zone and say to you, how are you going to get to step 2?
Get to work. It sounds like we need to be making videos and making the time. Mm-hmm. And planning a little bit. But
I don't think so. I don't think so.
If too much, we get very rigid. So
I think you've already done the work. Sounds like you've got a whole bucket full of videos. Mm-hmm. I just don't know why you didn't send them. There's your block. That's where you're stopping right there. It's not that you're afraid to do the work. You both are hard workers. I can tell. You both want to do it. But what's the block?
Well, I don't know. I know that when we just wanted to do, justice kind of to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't want to let anybody down.
Yeah. I don't know. Once you kind of spill, I think maybe, I know she felt this way, but I felt it a little bit. Like once you kind of spill like, oh, this is our dream and everything, it's like, well, you want your best work out there. You don't want to be like, oh, good God, hide it away. Put it back. That ain't it. So.
Let me tell y'all, and I'm being a little tough on you, and I'm doing it on purpose. You're experiencing imposter syndrome. You're experiencing, I say I want to do this, but I am not qualified to do this. I'm not good enough to do this. That's what you're experiencing, which is 10,000% so flipping normal. I'm telling you, this is the part where people don't get past. This is it. You are right here at a part where you are sitting on the cusp of the next level of everything that you want, and you are stopping yourself based on the imposter syndrome and the expectation that you think others have, that you are so far beyond what you think you are. You have a person who's in entertainment, and you have a person that Zach, who's produced it for 20 plus years. We're telling you, y'all got something. We're professionals telling you that. So why are you listening to the lies you're telling yourself? Because you think you're not good enough.
Yeah. And that was during the last podcast. That's what I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy.
And we thought we were, you thought you were, on the up and up on all of that. And to know that our actions are showing us that we're not past a lot of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because your body and your thought life, they're habitual. Mm-hmm. Even though you go and you work out your muscles, after week 1, you're sore as all get out, and your body reverts to, oh, you don't need to work out, just sleep. Don't do this. Don't do this. Everything about you habitually, that's hard to change that trajectory. Mm-hmm. And so you've been saying to yourself, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I have no idea how to do this. I don't know how to, you would say that before. And then you start doing the videos. I don't know how to edit them. I don't know if they're good enough. That's that habitual negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. I've struggled with that my whole life. And talking to you, I started looking at it, and I noticed it in my kids. I know.
Okay.
I felt like I had passed that down a little bit. Like they were, and I believe in them. And I'm just like, girls, you can do whatever you set your mind to. Put in the work. You're beautiful. You're talented, and so yeah, worthy. You're worthy.
Worthy.
And
Come on with it, Carrie.
yes, you're worthy. And I feel like I pour into them, but I need to start walking the walk so that they see.
Yes.
They see what
You're already walking the walk, Blythe. You're already doing it. You're already doing it. You think you're doing it. You already are doing it.
You're gonna cry.
I know I'm gonna cry. You're going. Everything's making me
You're
cry.
already doing it. You've done it.
I feel like
You've done it.
on a plane right now. I'm like,
No, I'm serious. That's what I'm trying to say. You're trying to, you have this picture of your mind of what it needs to look like or be like. Just press send. Just press post on the videos. Just get it out there. That is such a huge part of success, is just doing it afraid.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we say that all the time. Mama, listen to Joyce Meyer every morning. And she says,
Isn't it the truth though? Joyce Meyer don't lie.
No, we don't.
You have to do it afraid. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I know.
She's
Well,
right.
no. And I think I was like, why was I worried? I was worried about likes too. I was like, oh, I don't.
So after we posted it, you didn't get a lot of likes?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I expected. What did I expect? And then I was like, okay, well, maybe it's not as great as what we're thinking. You know, maybe we don't know what we're doing.
Zach, can you tell I've lost a little weight?
You look great, Kim. And it's not just that color, which looks amazing on you, by the way.
Have you tried your Factor meals yet?
Oh my God. I got this huge box full of Factor meals. And I was like, am I going to eat all of this? And then
All of it.
I ate all of it.
It's so good because it's fresh.
It is so
it's fresh
good.
food. And it's like prepared by a chef. It is so yummy. Mine are gone. I'm waiting on my next box. The kids love it. Travis loves it.
My parents visited and they ate 2 of them and I was mad at them.
Well, you know, Zach, I've been looking for something because I'm so busy and just like you, just like everybody, on the go, the kids, and here it's spring, and I wanted swimsuit season's coming up, for the love of God. And I just wanted to, you know, really have the convenience because we're a drive-through family. I mean, we would just go through drive-throughs every night. And now we don't have to because the Factor meals are so yummy. There's so much variety, Zach. I'm telling you, if everybody listening wants to try something that's convenient and it's cheaper than takeout and something that's healthy for you, prepared by chefs, over 35 different meals to choose from. They even have breakfast. So if you're looking for something like Zach and I that's convenient, that's yummy, that's good, that like people are going to steal, so be careful to lock your Factor meals up. Try Factor. It is really 550 calories or less.
For me, I am in love with the sun-dried tomato chicken. It's so good.
So good. There's not a meal I've had that I have not loved. So if you are interested in living this spring, healthy, fresh foods, chef prepared, Factor is for you. Head over to factormeals.com/Kim50 and use the code Kim50 to get 50% off your first box. You will not be disappointed. That's code Kim50 at factormeals.com/Kim50 to get 50% off of your first box. Try the sun-dried tomato chicken. So good. If you know me, I love quiet time, devotional time, meditation. And Headspace is an app that really helps you improve that mental well-being. It has guided meditations, mindfulness practices, breathing and calming exercises. It reduces stress, boosts your mood, and even helps you sleep better. So Headspace combines the scientifically proven benefits of mindfulness with modern practices. So it's experienced teachers, customized, personalized approaches, y'all. I'm telling you, if you just need that exhale moment in your life, Headspace is an app you want to download. It has the world's largest library with over 1,000 hours of clinically proven mindfulness exercises. Sometimes, y'all, we just need to exhale, take that deep breath.
Oh my gosh, Kim, let me tell you how obsessed I am with Headspace, okay? I am started to use it every single day. I just am so in love with the fact that they have these like really short little like 5-minute or sometimes 2 or 3-minute exercises that you can do. Literally, like you can do stretching and exercising, you can do meditation. And I find myself in the middle of the workday just like not really wanting to, just not feeling motivated, right? And I'll put on Headspace and I'll just like calm myself down, or I'll do an exercise, and it just is so invigorating.
Just calms you right down. Yeah.
Yeah, it calms me right down, and I love it so much. It's become part of my everyday routine. It's become part of my sleep routine. It is so great, and I'm so glad that I have Headspace in my life.
Headspace has helped more than 100 million people worldwide, and they can help you too. Listen up. You do not want to miss this opportunity. I've arranged something very special for a limited time where you can try Headspace free. That's right, for 60 days by going to headspace.com/Kim60day. Okay, that's going to headspace.com/Kim60day, and you get 60 days for free. You won't find this offer anywhere else. So you got to use this link though. Head over to headspace.com/Kim60day to unlock all the free goodies. I'm telling you, it's going to change the way you sleep, the way you think, the way you exhale, and just breathe. Now, this is not something they normally do. So go on over there today to get 60 days for free. Headspace.com/Kim60day. Enjoy. I know I sure did. God allows us to go through this growth process to A, see how bad do we want it, and B, to prepare us for the platform. And you girls have the looks, the charisma, the kind-heartedness, the hilarity to really be on a large platform, but he's got to test that he can trust you with it when you have it. I'm going to give y'all some homework, and you've got to you don't let me down and don't let yourself down, and you're going to bring it. You're going to send us all those videos, and we're going to help you edit it and help you polish them up. And we're going to give you some feedback. But if you want this, we will continue coaching you and helping you and showing you, how to perfect or not perfect, but how to purposefully get better. But how bad do you really want it?
That's not rhetorical. I think she wants us to say it. Bad. Okay. Yes. Good. Yes, we do. Yeah.
I do want it. Yeah. Yes, I know. I do. And I'm glad that you said that I put in the work, because I was feeling like I had disappointed everybody around me because I didn't press in.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
No, I knew what that was going to look like and be like, and I wanted to reach out and talk to you. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to see if they'll send them. I'm going to see if I'm going to see how much they will step out and believe in themselves. That's the thing, y'all. You'll get over people not believing in you. You can get over that, but you'll never get over not believing in yourself. You have to really, really know that you're called to something more. And look, is it going to be a video influencer career? I don't know. But I do know that's the start, and that's your open door, and that's your opportunity that has met you both. And I know that you both are absolutely gifted and talented at this. I do know that.
Thank you, Kim.
And you know what? You know that too.
I think we do. When we're up on stage and we're having fun, don't you feel like?
Yeah, I'm like, you're so good at this.
Yeah, everybody else, oh my gosh, you're gorgeous. Everyone loves you.
Know why? Because you are operating in the natural. So when you're doing that and it's just flowing from you, because you probably don't rehearse, you probably just comes up and okay, see? Just comes up and comes out. So what's happening is when we are our real, true, authentic selves, that's when we feel the most exposed. But that's when it's the absolute best.
Yep.
Yes.
I literally said that in an interview one time.
Wow.
That
It's true.
when I'm up here and I'm competing, I'm the best version of myself, and I feel like my most self. I'm the person I want to be, and it feels like myself.
So when y'all were on stage performing, Blythe and Carrie, does it just come up and out? Like, are you having to think, I'm saying this?
No, not at all.
No, and I don't know where it comes. We were just like going, I don't even know where
You did a Scottish accent the last time we emceed.
People need to hear it.
I don't even know where that came from. And then Kim, she had a total Allison and Joe moment because she mixed up Ireland and Scotland.
That's okay. They wouldn't care. They would love that.
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm telling y'all, the reason that I'm successful is just I'm authentic and real. It has nothing to do with talent. It's just I'm very exposed, and people are connected to that because people can relate to the things that I'm saying because they're very real and authentic. So you're just going through that. This is it. I'm telling y'all, you're just going through. We're going to push through this, and we're going to push through this vulnerability, remorse. And we're going to just do that in a video form because that's how you're going to reach a lot of people. So we're going to do what we do live on stage, live on social media. Okay. No, I'm serious. I mean, to ask the question, don't be afraid to toot your own horn. Don't y'all know you're good at what you do?
Yeah, I mean, like, we know that we make people laugh and we know that they enjoy it. We enjoy it. And I don't know that we've ever get farther than that, because we're just like, oh, we're just up there, two sisters having fun. But I don't think people really know that in our hearts we're going, hire us again.
Yeah.
And again and again, and help us to cultivate this into something that we can, continue to work with.
So you do know that you're good at what you do. I'm still wanting to hear that. What y'all really think about that?
Yes. I said my family is talented, and I truly believe that. I think we all have some. Yeah.
I believe it. I think you're funny. I think you're funny together. I think it's comical, it's delightful, and it is something that you could do. I'm not saying, will it happen overnight tomorrow? No, but it can. I have seen so many people. I can name you people that I knew that either I interviewed or talked to. I mean, I've got a friend, Leanne Morgan, who's been plugging away to tens of tens her whole entire career, and just overnight. She's got a Netflix. I mean, it just seemed like it was overnight, but she put in the work. She pressed send many times when it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, and I want to tell y'all, if you say, okay, Kim, I don't feel comfortable doing the videos and editing, do live videos. Do them on the spot. Start building an audience where people can say, hey, and ask y'all questions. Even if there's 5 people on the live feed, the next time there'll be 15, the next time there'll be 20. So I'm going to challenge y'all. You're going to send Zach the videos, but you're also going to do a couple of lives. And I'm going to give you some, at least one a month. But Zach, they really probably should do one a week if they could, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As many as you can do. I mean, it's about flexing the muscle.
Yeah. We're invested in seeing you girls become, what you desire in your heart. And that might not look like what you think it looks like, but it's there.
Well, I do have a question, Kim.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
So, this is deep and shallow at the same time. What do we have to say? Kind of my question, with our frames, we had our frames, and with, your beautiful makeup, that's so easy for us to talk about. But I'm wondering, like, where do we go? Like, what's our direction kind of thing?
Okay. What do you struggle?
We love being moms and we love making people laugh, but how do we, you know what I mean?
Okay. What do you struggle with?
In life?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, we're big on the confidence train.
Okay.
I always, I kind of struggle with, I worry what people think about me. I said that in the last podcast. I worry that I'm not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
About you struggling with, there's motherhood stuff. Oh, you know
what?
What
Motherhood stuff? What motherhood stuff?
particularly fertility and infant loss on my heart. Those are things that I don't know that you could make a comedy routine about, but
Oh, you sure can. Oh, you sure can.
I think maybe
you sure can.
You could listen for people going through that. But
no, you're going to go and talk about things like that from your point of view and how you have joy through it. Guys, look, you have the most beautiful content all around you. Blythe, our episode that we did, Zach, do you want to speak to how connecting and how impactful your episode was? Do you want to kind of share with them?
We get so many emails from fans, and I know that certain episodes get these just really powerful, really heartfelt emails about how people who watch the episode and listen to the episode connect with it. And I can't tell you the depth that folks were responding to your words, to your situation, saying that they understand, that they feel it too. And I mean, that's a big reason why you're back on the show now, because I really think this is a journey that you're on, and it's a journey that you're on with hundreds or thousands of other people who are watching this and saying, I agree, that is me, this is my struggle. I can't hit send on whatever that thing is either.
Oh, wow.
And how can I get over that?
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 topics to do some lives on, and what you're going to do is when you do them, I'm going to hop on too, and we're going to do them together. I'm going to go and do them with you. I'm going to commit to really helping you have that confidence to step into your entertainment career. I think you can have one, ladies. I really do. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. And I think you don't have to wait until your kids are grown. I don't think you have to wait till you have enough money or editing skills. I don't think you have to wait. I think everything you need, you already have, and then some. I think you just need that push off the cliff to start doing it. I was training a girl for Miss Georgia. And she'd aged out. And I said to her, I said, something's not right with this. She got first runner up to Miss Georgia. And something wasn't right with it. Long story short, she got another shot. They raised the age limit. I'm going to tell y'all something. You have it in you to do whatever you want to do. I think, 1, you don't know exactly what to do. And 2, I don't think you know that what you do bring to the table is interesting. But I'm here to tell you there's yes to both of those the answers to both of those questions. You have what it takes, and you can do it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start doing a couple of lives together. And Zach, we'll do that so we can tape them, so we can download them and show them on the podcast. But we're going to do a couple of lives. I'm going to give you a couple of subjects to talk about. So we're going to talk about motherhood. This is what your homework is. I want y'all to just talk about a topic about motherhood. Come up with some things that funny stories about motherhood, things that are relatable to other people. We're going to talk about motherhood. We're going to talk about self-image, how we look in the mirror and do we like what we see? Do we want to get better? Do we feel like we're tight 12 and loose 14? How do we function in a skinny world? And 3, I want you to talk about your goals and dreams and how that connects to other people and their goals and dreams. Those are the 3 topics we're going to talk about. You can take it any way you want to. But those are the 3 lives we're going to do before we get on this next podcast together. And we're gonna help you increase your social media and show you that people want to hear what you see. You also go press send on those videos. I want to see them.
Okay.
Are y'all willing to commit to that?
Yes. I'm ready to get off this right now and go make some more videos.
That's what I'm saying. So we're going to have to just take those small steps forward because y'all truly can do this. The dream that you have in both of your hearts can come to pass. We just need a little bit more coaching. Just a little bit more.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Okay. Right. I'm excited, and then I've got to take that and go forward. Yes.
Well, we love you. We'll be in touch. Okay, Blythe and Carrie, we're moving into step 2. We've done step 1. Step 2 is coming, girls. Hang on.
I'm ready. All right. Let's do this.
I love y'all. Okay, so Blythe and Carrie, Zach, they get stuck in that first. They want to do something. You want to have a goal. You want to step into that. And then you stall. They're in that stall from step 1 to step 2. That's what happens.
I get it, Kim. I totally get it. It's tough. And so many times in my career, in my life, I've been there.
Yeah.
You don't want to hit send.
You don't want to hit send. But I'm telling you, do it. Do it afraid. Hit send. Make sure that, and I loved it because I was a little hard on them. And they felt a little exposed. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's what any coach does, is pushes you to your uncomfortable. It's when you get uncomfortable, it's when you make changes. It's not the easy, cushy times. It's always when you feel like, and I've done it where I've made people, I've just ticked them off. They get so mad at me. I'm like, well, you're going to get mad, but that's what the problem is.
Yep.
You have to really push yourself. No one's going to push you for you. No one is going to make you do it. No one is going to show up and, even encourage you to do it. You have to push yourself out of that comfort zone. And so we're going to help Blythe and Carrie go to that next level. And I can't wait to see their videos, because I promise you, I think they got something to say.
They do. Hey, Kim, what do you do when you feel like what is your version of not wanting to hit send? Like you make so much stuff. You're constantly creating stuff. You're constantly doing, obviously you've got your fashion line, you've got your beauty line, you've got the podcast, you've got the book. Like, that's so much stuff. What do you do to keep yourself motivated?
It's hard to stay motivated, but I know my true calling. So when you know why you're here, I have felt such fulfillment from doing those things. That's what Blythe and Carrie have to do. They have to do it to the point they see the fulfillment. They see themselves being successful. And that doesn't mean lots of likes. You might have 2 or 3 likes, but you listen to what you say and say, oh, that's good. It's not about what people say that you are. It's about what you that you're moving from the place that you are. It's not about people going, oh, Kim is great. It's about knowing that before I even start.
Yeah.
That's the key, because that's what keeps you going.
Yep.
Look, everybody, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Anybody. I mean, I could give you example after example of people who have tried and failed. People who Michael Jordan, he got cut from his high school basketball team when he's in the 10th grade. Come on. Tom Brady, he wasn't even the first draft pick. He was low on the totem pole. I'm just telling you, it's not about where you start. It's how you finish. But if you don't ever take the second step in anything, you'll never know. And you'll live in regret, wondering, what if? Don't do that. Take the step. Trust me on that one. You'll never regret the steps you take. You'll always regret the ones that you never do. So, I love you guys. I'm going to tell somebody's listening to this, and you need to press send too. Send the videos, whatever that is for you. Send them. Take that first step. All right, y'all. We love you so much. Tell a friend about the Kim Gravel Show. Until next time, walk boldly in your confidence. Because, baby, you got it.
Hey everybody, we're gonna do a little makeup tutorial. I've already got mine done, if you can't tell.
Right, yes, I'm the one that has to be left without the makeup.
And so one of us had to be the sacrificial lamb here, okay?
Feels like it's always me.
You take it with such grace.
Right, well that is true.
How's my arm look?
Oh, so skinny. Oh my God. And then Phil.
Sure.
Right, the ship is sinking.
Nothing a little nutcase can't help. Well, that's it. Hope you like our faces.
We hope you like the makeup
Yes.
and us.
This episode is sponsored by husbands who actually put the toilet seat down. They want you to know that they don't like doing it, but they're willing to put in the most minimal effort sometimes. Husbands who put the toilet seat down. Now all they have to do is work on their aim.
This is the Kim Gravel Show.
Was it a betrayal for you?
My whole world gets turned upside down. It was like watching my own funeral. I know who the anonymous source was.
Thong, yeah!
You can't eat that because it tastes like boogers. And I just bawled and prayed.
Have you been able to forgive? Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the Kim Gravel Show. I am your host, Kim Gravel. Happy New Year, Zach.
Happy New Year, Kim.
New year, right?
It's
2024.
But we're back.
We're back, and it's 2024, and we're starting the new year off right. I'm telling you, each year has just gotten better and better with our, content, with our guest. And today is no exception. Way to start off the Kim Gravel Show in 2024, right? Should we just tell everybody who it is?
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. Who do we have, Kim?
Julie Chen Moonves. From Big Brother, from The Talk. She's on the show today. She's going to talk to us about her spiritual awakening. Oh, and one more thing. Did you know that we put outtakes at the end of every episode? And let me just tell you, the outtakes sometimes are better than actual episodes. So if you want to see me suffer and mispronounce words, then don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to the end of the episode. But first, we have Julie Chen Moonves.
Julie Chen Moonves.
You created my own intro.
We give you a theme song.
I need that when I walk around. And maybe a wind machine. And a light.
And a diva ring light. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's a real privilege.
The privilege is mine, but I just want to tell you, Julie, let's just get into it because I'm a real talk type of person. We're down here in Georgia, hot Atlanta, the Hollywood of the South down here. And I have watched you, been a fan of you. I used to watch the Talk got me through raising my two boys. Okay. Watching the Talk, watching you on the Talk. And, Big Brother, I always thought I would be a good Big Brother contestant, right? And you know what? You don't think I would?
I'm
okay.
shaking my head.
All right.
No, I don't think you would.
Okay.
Or Real Housewife of Atlanta.
That's more Kim's speed. For sure.
That's way too much shade for me to throw tonight while we're talking to you about your book. But Julie, I was so amazed. First of all, I wasn't shocked that you were writing a book about your faith. What I was shocked about was when you say you found the Lord at 48 years old. I'm shocked. Can you tell us how that happened? Like what was your spiritual, journey or your faith journey?
Yes. So I grew up in Queens, New York, and I'm the youngest of three girls. And my parents are Chinese immigrants. And my dad wore a cross. He actually came to America thanks to this monk who sponsored him. This church sponsored him and one of his brothers. And my mom, she wore a crucifix around her neck, and she decided at age 17 she wanted to be a Catholic, even though her mother was Buddhist. So my parents didn't try and choose our faith for us. My mom wanted, since my mom chose at age 17, what path she wanted to go down, she wanted each of her daughters to do the same. So, did I pray growing up? Yes. It was because I saw it on Little House on the Prairie. Let's be honest.
I love it.
And so, and I always had the same prayers, and it was by rote. It was like, I prayed for, grandma, grandpa, my parents, me, my sisters, please let us be healthy, wealthy, and wise. It was the same thing every night. And then I went to a Catholic high school, but that was more out of, that wasn't a faith decision. That was because I didn't get into the Bronx High School of Science, which is where my two older sisters went. And my mother said, instead of having you go to the public school you're zoned to, a lot of your friends have gone to St. Francis Prep. Let's apply. But even then, I wasn't listening to the Lord. I wasn't trying to get to know Jesus. I wasn't, I was being a teenager. My work and my career, that was my false idol that I prayed to. That came number one above everything. Even after I had a son, raising my child, I would outsource raising him just so I could be at the studio at work. But then I turned 48 and my whole world gets turned upside down. For me personally, I had been at the talk for 8 years and I'm on the eve of launching the 9th season of it. And I unexpectedly lose my job there. But, to save face, it's always they allow the person who's leaving to say it's their choice. So
sure,
I lied and I said that I was leaving to spend more time at home, and I was still doing Big Brother, but Big Brother was getting ready to wrap up, as it always does, typically in September. And my whole life as I knew it just got turned upside down. The talk was a big part of how that was my identity, because I was on daily, and I had always been on some sort of daily broadcast. Prior to that, it was the morning news at CBS. And there were a lot of reports about me and my family that were just simply, not true, lies. And when you're wounded, people who have any reason to want to attack you can say anything and it can go to print. And there was like a ridiculous story about me at the talk, like standing on a chair in a big meeting and telling everyone, you make me want to vomit. It was, no one even corroborated the story. And then one anonymous source, who I know who the anonymous source was, went to a reporter. So there was a lot of, I had never suffered that kind of press or scrutiny or judgment.
But Julie, let me ask you something. Have you ever suffered that kind of betrayal? Because the talk, the image that was portrayed to us, like I said, I raised my kids watching you guys, daily on the talk, and you all seem so close and such good friends and such. Is it a dog eat dog world out there? And was it a betrayal for you?
It was a betrayal, but I shouldn't have been so naive, because season 1 of the talk, I went on vacation, and when I came back from vacation, I found out that the other 4 ladies were saying how much nicer it was with me gone, because they thought that I wasn't one of the girls, that I was always trying to produce them and produce the show. And they kind of ran the place. They didn't have me saying, no, you can't say that because we'll get sued. And I was the only one from a news background. And I remember,
right, which is truth. Yeah, you can't say. There's things you can't say. Yeah,
I like you can't. I was like, you could say, in my opinion, she's guilty of murdering her daughter, but you can't say, she did it. Like, we'll get sued. You can't.
Allegedly,
so, right?
Yeah, allegedly, or I believe, in my opinion, I don't believe that she's innocent. Something. So, so season 1, there was a movement underway to get rid of me. All 4 of my co-hosts talked about it. 2 of them actually took it a step further and went to the network and said, her or us. If she stays, we go. And we were all only under a 1-year contract, because we didn't even know if the show was going to be a success. So when they posed that question, those 2 didn't get their contracts picked up for season 2. So we, hired 2 other people to take those slots, and then everything was going great. So when you saw us, even season 1, up until that point, and these 2 women who left the show, I went on vacation with them, with their husbands. We did Vegas weekends. So that camaraderie was real, but there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. So that's why it felt like a betrayal, because season 9, as we're about to launch it, my husband had left the network, so he wasn't running CBS anymore. So that's when 2 of the 4 co-hosts went and said, we don't want Julie to be part of the season premiere, because on the season premiere, they were going to talk about my husband's exit from CBS. And they said, we don't feel comfortable talking in front of Julie. So the head of CBS Daytime said, please stay home. She said, I know them. If you show up, they'll call in sick. and I can't have that. So please just stay home. So I stayed home and I turned on the show that day. When I watched it, it was like watching my own funeral. And
Yes.
2 of the 4 people just totally buried me. And they made it by what they said, they made it impossible for me to ever pull up my chair to that table again. So that afternoon, I had a long heart-to-heart talk with the head of CBS Daytime. She cried, I cried, and I said, the only way this show is going to be able to go forward is without me there. And then we figured out how I was going to announce it, and very few people knew. And I recorded my departure message from the set of Big Brother. And I came in early that morning to record it before the talk went live. And then they ran the recording through the control room of the talk, and it went out live on the air. And I was very hurt, angry, frustrated, bitter, like every negative emotion. I was angry. And suddenly I had a lot of time in my hands, and I kept thinking, like, I'm going to go pray to God for answers and for justice and, just for guidance and direct. But, it really was very self-serving, my intentions in the beginning.
Sure.
Like, God, you see what happened? Like, help me, And
I love it though. That's how he woos us. Sometimes he works all things together for the good of those, and so he can use, that's so God's economy. I love it. I love it. You're going, get him, God.
I was so foolish. I was so foolish in knowing who God is that I was like, you'll get my revenge for me, right? Like,
right. You got him, right? Yeah.
Right.
Take him out.
So vengeful, and I was coming from a place of
I get it.
hate. So, even though I thought about going to church, I just didn't. And then one morning, right after Thanksgiving of 2018, I got an email from my favorite aunt. And I
love this part of the book.
Thank you. She and my uncle, her husband, they became born-again Christians in the 90s after my uncle survived cancer. And then he's also a 9/11 survivor. He was in the North Tower when it got hit. She emails me and she says, my good friend from our church in New Jersey, Angela, is a prayer warrior, and she's been praying for you and your husband, your whole family. And she called me and she said that Holy Spirit moved her and touched her and told her that you need to hear about Jesus from me. You need to be, told the gospel. And my aunt said, you've noticed I've never been pushy about my faith. We come from a very big family. And that's all true. But seeing the email from my aunt and a woman who I've never even met, like praying for me and being touched and caring that much to like call my aunt, she doesn't know me, everything. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to church this morning. And it was a Thursday morning, and I dropped off my son at school, and I just drove to one of these 3 churches right by my house that I had driven past a million times. Now, I don't know how common it is that on a Thursday morning at like 8:20, 8:30, whatever it was, that the doors would be open. But the doors were open, and I walked in, and I was by myself. There were a few candles burning, and I got into a pew, and I got on my knees, and I just bawled and prayed and let it all out. And I asked God, why over and over again, and help me, please help me, pick me up and put me on a path. Like nothing made sense. And then when it started, but I was still like a newborn. I was like a baby that needed to be swaddled and carried. Like I still didn't know so much. I didn't know what I didn't know. So I went to church services that Sunday at that church. The sermon didn't resonate with me. I couldn't understand it. It may have been in Latin. It may as well have been. It might have been. I didn't understand anything. But I thought, okay, there's 2 other churches on this same street. They're all lined up. And I went church shopping, and I ended up finding my church home. the last one, it was like Goldilocks. This one is just right.
Yeah.
And now I'm yoked with like at least 5, maybe 6 churches. Thanks to Zoom services, I can Zoom on to my friend's church.
So you're just consuming. You're just in it, and would you call it the honeymoon phase, or you're sold out. You're sold out. You know what I'm saying for him?
Sold out for Christ. I'm on fire
me too.
for him. The
too,
honeymoon phase was when I was like collecting.
Yes, isn't it great? It's such a great feeling. Yeah,
it still feels like my first year of marriage. It still feels fresh and new.
I can kind of remember that.
So I'm still there, and I just love it. And I'm 53 now, so I am more mature in Christ. But I also know that I'm never going to stop growing, and I'm never going to stop learning. And even the day I, leave and I go home, I'm going to be, like head over heels, just like blown over with awe, and like, who knew?
And awe. It's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
Awe is a good word. I would think, because I've never lived in the Hollywood culture. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are in the business, and it's such a great business in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it can be a little scary and a little, like you said, cutthroat, which you've experienced, a little cutthroat and a little dark. But I know there are believers out in that field as well. Do you regret, like, tell us about your experience in the celebrity culture? Because you said earlier that you kind of idolized your position, or that was what you were, looking to for your identity. And can I just tell you, Julie, there's so many people doing the same thing with social media and post and likes. And I think we all experience it now.
Yeah, I think COVID really had a lot of people have their come to Jesus moment, right? It really, God put the world on pause, the entire world, and you had time to reflect and see, like, how am I living? Like, what am I so busy with that I don't have time for God? It wasn't even like he was last on the list. He wasn't even on the list. He wasn't even a thought.
Right.
And in Hollywood, I do think that COVID helped people, come out of the woodwork a little bit, because it would be something that, right or wrong, Hollywood never felt very welcoming to faith, because look what typically sells, like horror,
sex,
drugs, darkness, right?
Right.
So, but then you'll see some of these like amazing faith-based films, like I love Jesus Revolution, and that's
me too, girl.
So good, and that made, or even like a series like The Chosen. That was crowdfunded,
love that.
And it keeps getting picked up, like Netflix, CW. It's like, if it's God's will, God will guide it if it's meant to be.
What you experienced with your girls at the talk, I'm a girl's girl at heart, and so I know how that had to feel like. Are you kidding me? We've done life together, and this is what's happening. Have you been able to forgive? And have you done it? Have you told them? Have you talked to them and told them, I love you, I forgive you? Have you shared this faith-based message with them? Have you shared your journey?
I didn't say the words, I forgive you, because sometimes I feel like people are like, well, what did I do? Like, they get defensive.
I got it.
I don't know if they think they did anything wrong, but my olive branch was texting one of them. I saw a picture of this person's daughter who looked great and healthy. And I reached out and I was like, hey, so-and-so looks beautiful, so healthy. That's fantastic. How are you? Like, and it came from a genuine space of love, because I did love these women. I did have amazing times laughing with them. Like, we went through a lot together, births, near divorces, like cheating scandals, all that. So I chose to remember the good, and like, maybe it was a power play. I don't know, the purpose. I don't know what was behind that move. And it's not for me to know. It happened, but it was also a blessing in disguise because
It was.
as that happened, I found God. I got salvation. I got the greatest gift ever. So, I texted one of them because I don't really run into her. And the other one I would tend to run into because of our kids being, near the same age, and we went to the same school and the same piano teacher. So
wow.
I would see her, and it was always, with in the beginning, it was like a hi, like just kind of polite, but not with love and no warmth. And then afterwards, I had an opportunity to show like laughter and humor, like as if nothing had happened. I had to forgive in my heart because I wasn't hurting anyone but myself, harboring, like hate or anger or any negative feelings towards them. They weren't thinking about me, and that
you know what? But that's why your book. I mean, but first, God. It's like when you put Him first, when you put that relationship, which is the most important relationship we can ever have. It's funny how you see people through His eyes.
He loves
you.
them.
Love people. Yeah.
He loves them. He
loves them.
He loves them. All of them.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I was so naive. I'm like, but you don't know what I know, God. What I feel.
But did you see this? Did you see this?
Yes,
yeah.
Right. So, that was a lesson I remember hearing at one of my church services at my home church here, which was the pastor said, yeah, that person you can't stand, God loves that person. God loves
them. I'm so glad that Factor is sponsoring this episode. When you support our sponsors, you're also supporting our show and helping me and Zach share this message. So head over to factormeals.com/Kim50 to use code Kim50 to get 50% off. Get started on your resolutions with Factor. With over 35 meals to choose from every single week, you can choose options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, and more. Plus, over 55 weekly add-ons. Yeah, you've got tons of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. So stress less over mealtime in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals, free up time. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time shopping, cooking, and cleaning up. And I ain't got time for that. So no more wasting time in the kitchen, y'all. It's time to get our Factor on. Head over to factormeals.com/Kim50 and use code Kim50 to get 50% off. That's Kim50, Kim50 at factormeals.com/Kim50 to get 50% off. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get my Factor on. It's a new year, y'all. Let's do it together. This episode is sponsored by ZocDoc, where you can find and book a top doctor for free. Check them out at ZocDoc.com/Kim and download the app for free. Because when you support our sponsors, you're supporting this show. And y'all, when it comes to your health, you can't make any compromises. Like right now, I'm dealing with Bells Palsy on the left side of my face. And when something like this happens, it's so important to get the care you need. But y'all, it's hard to find good doctors out there. I mean, who has referrals? This is the perfect place to come and get the referral you need in your location. It's easy as putting in your zip code and what you're dealing with your health needs. And that's why I'm so glad ZocDoc is our sponsor, because if you're dealing with your own medical issue, then ZocDoc can help you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly, y'all, book your appointments with them online. I went to ZocDoc.com/Kim and it is so easy. I put in Bells Palsy and my zip code, and then it showed me over 100 top doctors with verified reviews. And it even showed me their appointment calendar so I could just make the appointment right away. My first search took 10 seconds and they didn't even ask me for any personal information to do the search. So don't settle when it comes to your health. Go for the best and find the right doctor for you. With ZocDoc, you can book your appointment immediately with a doctor that you can trust, because all of the ratings are from real verified patients. You can even filter for your doctors who take your insurance and for specialists who treat your condition. I've tried ZocDoc, and you should too. Go to ZocDoc.com/Kim and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/Kim, ZocDoc.com/Kim, and get the doctor and the health care you need. So let me say this, though. Like, to me, Julie, I think you're just getting started because, I mean, I'm getting emotional talking about it, but, you know, God wastes nothing. You know that. And I know that as believers. We know he's always working all things together for the good of those who love him. And you've got this show on Instagram. Tell us about that a little bit and where people can find that. Because, Julie, you got a lot to talk about, girl. You got a lot to share with all of us.
So on my Instagram account, which is Julie Chen Moonves, I post every Sunday morning a 15-minute or less panel talk show. You know, for example, we are going to this Sunday, the episode is about like the greatest gift ever. Like Christmas isn't about, you know, tangible presents because we already got the greatest gift ever. We got salvation.
Yes, we do.
So God 101 really started as like, I thought, well, what do I know how to do? I know how to lead a panel talk show, but I want to only do things in the faith space. An episode on the sin of pride. Like I didn't know pride was a sin until I started my walk with Jesus, you know, and that's what got Lucifer kicked out of heaven, you know, and pride.
That's why he's no longer welcome, right?
No. And I just love that. Like he was supposed to be this beautiful angel and now he's like disgusting, right? You know,
yes.
He's like,
and he's seeking. And Julie, don't you think, I mean, I could talk to you all night, honest to God. So, I mean, just shut me up, but he's seeking whom he may devour. Can you see it? Like now that the blinders have been taken off, Julie, really just me and you, girl, right here. Can't you just see him moving in people? It's almost like you can't hate someone or even be angry at someone because it's really not them. He is in everything and doing everything. Do you see it?
I see it. I see it in music. I mean, he was a worship director, right? You know, he was.
Yes.
So it is so easy. And like, I will pray often. I haven't done it in a few days, but I will pray often because my son is 14 that
mine too.
Oh my gosh. The music and the lyrics that he listens to. And like, when you listen to a song, that song will latch onto your soul. It doesn't need to
in your spirit.
It's just in there, right? And you wake up.
It's an invitation.
Yeah. So, I do see him lurking, waiting just to devour, you know, and
now, Julie, I want to ask you this too. I'm sorry to interrupt. Now, and you don't have to go into this if you don't want to. Is your husband and your son, have they A, see a change in you, and B, are they curious, interested, or involved in their own journey with faith? I'm curious.
Oh yeah. Whether they will acknowledge it or not, we all are on our own faith journey, right? Whether we realize it or not. But my husband started going to church with me. And it started because I said to my son, when I started to go to church, I said, you need to start coming with me. And suddenly my son, my husband is Jewish, right? But he's Jewish culturally. He's not religious at all. So suddenly my son at that point says, well, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish.
Right. I'm the Jewish people are God's chosen people. I truly believe that. So
I'm Jewish too. So
Zach is Jewish too. They're God's chosen people. But anyway, go ahead. I digress. Go ahead, Julie.
Yes. And our whole like Christianity is steeped in, I mean, Jesus
was a Jew. Yeah.
The most important Jew ever born. So I'm like, why can't you acknowledge him as God? And my husband was like,
right.
I just wasn't taught that. I said, well, that's a reasonable answer. You don't believe it because you weren't taught it. I said, but is it possible? He goes, yes.
Yes.
Right?
They're open. Oh, Julie. Oh.
So my son. So I said to my husband, I said, listen, Charlie won't come with me to church because he says he's Jewish. You know, you gotta come. So he'll come. And sure enough, that's next Sunday morning.
It's fantastic.
My husband put on his shoes and goes, come on, Charlie, we're all going to church. And when I tell you, we walked into church and we opened up our hymn books. My husband is singing louder than anyone. and doesn't have to look at the words. And I look at him, I said, how do you know?
How do you know these hymns?
And he goes, oh, this is a Thanksgiving song. He goes, we sang this in school growing up.
Right.
I said, I don't even know this song.
Yeah, a lot of crossover there. A lot of crossover.
Then that day, the sermon, the pastor preached on his friend who was accused of something that he was not guilty of. And he preached on betrayal. And I was like, and I just saw my husband's heart open up. And he was, when he's shushing Charlie so he can hear the sermon, I'm like, thank you.
God is up to something. Yes.
Always.
And Julie, I'm going to tell you, God is up to something still with you. I'm getting emotional talking about it just because you give me hope, girl, that in that world of Hollywood, that there are people out there sharing the gospel and loving people into a faith that is everlasting, right? Like you and I are going to be friends forever, girl.
Forever and in eternity.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Like we're sisters.
We are sisters.
We're sisters.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's, I have seen hearts soften in Hollywood.
Me too.
Because I will start a meeting in prayer and people are like, oh, I've never done that before, And then afterwards they're like, that was really nice. And then I'll end a meeting in prayer. And then people who didn't want to speak at the beginning say, I'll say something, And they go, that was so nice. Like, I wish I could start every meeting this way, and
couldn't hurt. Yeah.
No way. Can only help. So
all right, y'all, you've got to go get Julie's book. Got to download it on audio. But first, God, this is just. We could talk about. We could talk about so much more here. Yes. We could do part 2, 3, and 4. But it's in the book. It is going to move you if you are even just curious about, right, Julie? Even the people who are just even curious about what this God thing's all about. Your audiobook is the perfect first step.
Thank you.
It really is.
Thank you. He's a God of miracles.
Amen.
He gave me back my hearing. I talk about that too.
That's in the book. Yeah. Y'all got to get it. I know. Well, and this is what I always say. Some people say to me all the time because they say, Kim, well, I don't believe in God. I'm like, that's okay because he believes in you.
Right.
He believes in you. Julie, I'm telling you, please come back. Can you come back and tell us more?
Can you come on one-on-one on God 101?
Oh, girl, look.
Who Jesus
I missed my calling.
You?
I should have been a preacher. Please have me on. I would love it. I've been walking with the Lord since I was 7 years old, up and down, all around. And Julie, I'm just telling you, he's just good. He's just good.
Always has our back.
Yes. Always. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've got a new best friend. Okay, listen, before we go, we end with a fun thing called rapid fire questions. And I said to Zach, Zach, we've got to do this with Julie. The woman knows how to do live TV. She's quick-witted. She's brilliant. We're doing this. So just the first thing that pops into your mind, Julie, answer. You don't think about it. Just go for it. Okay, here we go.
Rapid fire questions.
First question. Who would you love to sit next to on a long flight?
Well, Jesus.
Okay, girl.
There you go.
In first class. Thank you. Okay, here we go. And what is your favorite TV show of all time? Like it could be childhood, now, whatever. Favorite TV show?
Well, it's probably a tie between, this is before I knew Christ, okay?
Yeah.
Melrose Place.
Ooh, I love...
Melrose Place. Okay.
Heather Locklear, remember? Oh my God. Melrose Place. Okay.
When they canceled it, I wanted to throw my television out the window.
Me too.
Okay, Ted Lasso. I'm going to go with Ted Lasso. That's my favorite.
Ted Lasso's fantastic. Lasso's fantastic. And I Melrose, though, you got me there. Okay. What is one piece of advice you wish you could give your younger self?
Oh. Probably not to go out on a date with someone I went out on a date with in college and became obsessed with. And it was just, I think it's probably good because like I learned what it was like to date a scoundrel, you know?
But, the bad boy. You had the bad boy syndrome.
scoundrel. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just no.
You had the bad boy syndrome. We all had, everybody, all of us strong, career driven girls have always gone a little bad boy every now and then. So I can't judge you for that.
You want the opposite of what you are. You're like, ooh, that's so intriguing.
It's so intriguing, yeah, until you have to date them. Okay. What is one thing that would surprise us to know about you that no one knows? Okay, spill some tea, Julie.
I am a very good mimic. And I
really,
I don't really do that anymore because it's not glorifying God, right? But I used to think I could do.
Well, it could be comedy.
Julie, can you do a Southern accent? Like, just in honor of Kim.
You can mimic me. I see it as an honor. Mm-hmm.
But you don't really. But see, you don't really have. I don't know if I can do a Southern drawl. I can't do accents. I typically, I reckon I don't do accents. So I don't know.
That was good. That was really good.
I don't know if that
why
makes
did
sense.
Why did she sound smarter at me being more in Southern? Whatever. We'll have to let the people decide that. All right. What is the worst gift you've ever been given?
I'm sure this isn't the worst, but I remember, but it was well-intentioned. I got a keychain from my college boyfriend.
Oh.
It's actually so cute. It was a keychain that said "Born to Shop." And it was so cheesy. And I thought,
so cheesy.
It was very cheesy. But the intention was, and I'm like, I thought, who do you think you're dating? Like,
I think that he bought that at the 7-Eleven on the way to your place.
I think so. That was just like cheesy, but we were, 18, 19.
That was wah-wah. That's right. I love it. All right. What's your guilty pleasure food? What's your favorite junk food?
Oh my gosh. Anything fried.
Yeah,
anything fried. Anything fried. Fried calamari, French fries. I could order like a healthy meal, then I'm like, a side of fries, please.
And honey mustard to dip it in or some kind of dip. Absolutely.
Mayonnaise. Dip it in mayonnaise. And
that's very European.
Meatballs. Yes, it is.
Like, do you do like any fast food like Mickey D's, BK, Crystal? Do you go that low?
My son has recently discovered Mickey D's because when he was growing up, I used to tell him that, you can't eat that because it tastes like boogers, Can't tell him it's delicious. Can't tell him it's delicious. So he will come home with like a Big Mac. And I'm like, but I'm a fish fillet girl.
I love the fish fillet.
The fish fillet.
Julie.
This was my thing growing up. The fish fillet, small fries, and that orange drink, that chemically orange drink. Loved it.
This just flat out chemical. I don't even think they sell it anymore. I don't think they even make it anymore. Yeah, that was my go-to. Fish fillet, girl. Okay, I think
Western
we could.
Star at Carl's Jr., the Western Star. I ate that every day, every like Wednesday in college, right after a certain journalism class, because they had one on campus. That was the one with the onion rings in it. Delicious.
Oh, girl. I mean, yeah, you've got taste. You've got taste. You've got good taste. All right, who's your celebrity crush? And I'm sure it's like really, you could really give us your celebrity crush could be just absolutely real because you're right there in Hollywood. Who's your celebrity crush?
My producer one time said that before I was married. She's like, "Who's your celebrity crush? Because it could happen." I said, and I said, "Do you know Lenny Kravitz?"
Ooh,
that's a good one.
I just saw him on a commercial for like some cologne, and I was with my mom. I'm like,
he's hot.
He was my big celebrity crush. And then we met him at a party, and someone said, "Oh, let me get a picture of you guys," meaning my husband with Lenny Kravitz. And my husband goes, "Gladly," and like squeezes me out. Like I wasn't really kind of in that conversation. And you just see like my eyebrow behind their shoulders, like trying to get it.
Yeah, photobomb. You're trying to photobomb. Yeah, Lenny Kravitz is a good one. He's hot. He's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, couple more.
Yeah.
You're coming up good. The whole fish fillet just had me at hello. What is your most memorable TV moment and what is your most embarrassing TV moment?
My most memorable TV moment was when I lost my composure. I was moderating the talk and we had to deliver the verdict of the Casey Anthony trial.
Yes, I remember that.
Was dumbfounded that it was not guilty, and I felt like the blood drain from my face, and I couldn't finish talking. I had to push the copy to my co-host and have her finish speaking for me, because I physically couldn't speak, because if I opened my mouth, it was just going to be sobbing. That was probably my most memorable TV moment. And what was the other one? My best TV moment?
Yeah. Your most embarrassing.
Oh, most embarrassing. I don't think we were rolling tape, because we were doing a concert when I did the morning news, and it was with Cisco, who sang that thong song. And I went on
song, yeah.
Song, and it was drizzling, and I slipped, and like legs went like scissors, and like boom, like right on my bum. That was probably my most embarrassing.
That's good. Just like a quick producer aside, as a professional producer, like we say we're not rolling, we're always rolling.
Sorry, it's out there somewhere.
I want to see it.
Julie, it's out there. It's out there somewhere.
I want it.
It's going to surface.
And he couldn't stop laughing. He was helping me, but he was dying.
Well, he's adorable. He's adorable. Okay, so what's next for you? This is our last question. What is next for Julie?
What is next for Julie? Well, God willing, well, there is another season of Big Brother during the summer. Continuing with, my God 101 show, maybe hopefully selling it. And
I think so.
Selling that show so we can reach, a wider audience. I don't even know if it's a wider audience on broadcast anymore, right? Because everyone has social media for that to reach more people. And I don't know, I have thought about going to seminary school. Who knows?
Oh, Julie.
Or at least like speaking at some of the colleges, at least, speaking about my faith journey, at like Pepperdine.
It's coming.
It's
coming, girl. It's coming. Yeah. In theology. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
I come from a long line, Julie, of preachers. I say all that my family is tobacco farmers and preachers. So my roots are in the dirt and in the church. So when I saw that you were willing to come on and talk about this, I'm telling you, God has such amazing, your reach, your testimony, your transformation, your book. Y'all go get it, because it is absolutely fantastic. But first, God, by Julie Chen Moonves. And I'm telling you, watch her show, God 101 on Instagram. Follow her on Instagram. It's her name, Julie Chen Moonves. It just spelled out. Her audiobook is called But First God, and you can find it everywhere audiobooks are sold. Julie, we love you.
Kim,
we have to keep in touch.
Yes.
We have to keep in touch.
And you're going to come on one-on-one on God 101.
Absolutely. Please.
One-on-one, interviews with people. Usually it's former Big Brother house guests about their faith journey, because I want to hear about how you got to know Christ starting at age 7, well,
at
being
age 7
from a family of pastors. So that makes sense.
But I mean, there was a moment where my faith became my own. We all have that moment like you did. And I love it because we're all family.
Yes, exactly.
That's how I look at it. Yeah. We're all family.
We are all family. We are all his children.
I'm just your distant Southern cousin once removed. That's it.
Finally,
I'm just your distant Southern cousin.
We met. Yes, you are. Not so distant. Not so distant.
Not so distant anymore. No. I love you, Julie. Thank you for coming. Have me on 101. I'll be there.
Okay, we will.
Thanks, Julie.
Our producer will reach out. Zach, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
All right, y'all. We love you. Until next time, I'm Kim.
I'm Zach.
This is the Kim Gravel Show. Bye. All right, you have your Riz meter is going down, down, down. Your Riz is on the freaking.
I'm starting to think you don't know what that means.
You think that I have Riz?
Yes.
Do you have Riz?
You know I do. What are you talking about?
What about Amy? Does Amy have Riz?
She there?
No, she's not here. She's not here. All right, we love you. I love you. I love you, babe.
We? Who you talking
to? You just got recorded on the podcast. We'll talk to you later, babe. I love you.
Don't put that on.
If you like this episode, I got one more you're going to love. Y'all, this ad was paid for by leaf blowers. The leaf blower. It's kind of like the French horn of suburban streets. Open any window in America at any time of day and you'll probably hear this angelic sound of at least 6 leaf blowers. Do your neighbors love loud noises? Then maybe a leaf blower is for you. So get a leaf blower. And if you're feeling really frisky, make it a gas one.
This is the Kim Gravel Show.
This is going to be one of the most personal episodes I've ever shared. It hurts to smile.
Show us your smile.
Okay. To be honest with you, Travis was really concerned, and it was just overwhelming.
You said that you were almost glad that this happened to you.
Hey, y'all. Kim Gravel here, and welcome to the Kim Gravel Show. I got to tell you, this is going to be one of the most personal episodes I've ever shared. Honestly, Zach, there's nothing that I won't share. We know that.
We know that. You're ready to overshare all the time.
Sometimes I overshare, but I just want to tell everybody that's either watching on video or listening, and I have this weird kind of thing going on with my voice. I didn't just have dental work or dental surgery. Didn't just have a root canal. I am, dealing with Bells Palsy. Because you can tell by my B's, my B's. Did you just do a hand clap for that?
I meant to do this. Wait, ready?
Yeah.
Say Bell's Palsy again.
I am dealing with Bell's Palsy.
Palsy.
Right. That's what I'm dealing with. Everybody hear me. I'm not going to how long it's going to last, but they have reassured me there's no nerve damage. There's none of that. It will come back. But it's brought on by stress and overwork or just anything. And when I woke up and I said, what is going on? And then I began to research. I called my doctor. He's like, look, this happens, all of that. But it's tough. It hurts. Everything pulls to the other side, my neck. I've never had that before. So I instantly empathize with anybody going through something like this. So if you're listening to this show and you've got something you're dealing with, it doesn't even have to be medical. It's anything that's this thing that my mom calls it a thorn in your side, something that you always have to live with.
Yeah.
And live a life of joy despite, the thorn in your side. This is it. This is definitely it. And so many people have reached out because I did a live on my social media and I said, my dad used to always say, you're either going into a storm, you're in it, or you're coming out of one.
Yeah.
And so I said that, and I can't tell you the people that have just responded, Kim, I've dealt with Bell's palsy, or Kim, my husband just left me, or I'm in the storm right now. Or I had one woman say, I'm coming out of the storm. I had breast cancer and I had a double mastectomy and I'm feeling alive. I feel the best I've ever felt in a long, long time. So we're all there in that in one of those three spots. You know what I'm saying? Every one of us are there.
And you're totally right. Your dad was a smart guy, it turns out. Kim, show us, before we get too into this, show us your smile.
Okay. Let me do it again.
I don't need to laugh.
So let me say this. Can I say this? I texted Amy, my best friend, the other day, and I was feeling kind of low. I was in the bed, and because the doctor says rest. I've had people, refer me to acupuncturist, all of that. But I was sitting in the bed the other night, and I was crying. I'll be honest with you, and I'm gonna get emotional talking about it right now because it was, you start to feel a little down, and be quite frank with you, a little sorry for yourself. And I texted Amy, and I said, "Whoa." I said, it hurts to smile. Hold on. I said, it hurts. It hurts so much to smile. And I said, and I miss my smile. I took it for granted. And so I think there's something to that. It hurts to smile. Is that you? Do you feel that way too? And I mean that you who's listening to me. I could not, when I said that, it was such a deeper meaning than just, I have Bell's palsy. It was such a deep rooted thing that I thought a lot of us today, it hurts to smile for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about this happening, Zach, was that, we've been building this brand launch called Love Who You Are, LWYA, for like a year and a half. We've been building up and building up and building up. And it launches, a week from now. I mean, a couple of days from now, actually. It launches a couple of days from now. And I was so on fire about it. And I'd lost all my weight. I'm thinking, okay, girlfriend size 8, she gonna work it. I'm gonna put on my, And then I wake up with this 15 days before the launch. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm launching a new beauty brand called Love Who You Are. And I have Bells Palsy. And I heard this still small voice, and it's God. And he said, yeah, it's time to practice what you preach, sis. Because you know what? God talks to me like I talk, which is like sassy Southerner with a little twang. That's how God talks to me. People think God says, well, hello, Zach. Welcome to the kingdom, But to me, he said, look, girl, practice what you preach. And I said, oh gosh, what am I going to do? Because like Zach, for 2 weeks, I took 2 weeks off at Christmas and the holidays from, QVC. And then I had to sit out another week because this happened. And I was so like, oh my God, I can't go on air with this. I can't show up and, people are going to say, what's going on? And so, but as a business owner, I couldn't continue just to say, I'm taking off. Right. So I remember the moment that I decided that I was going to go on air. It was a Wednesday morning. And I was scared. I was a little like, oh my gosh, I felt, as a female, Zach, you might not understand this, but as all these women, if you're listening and you hear my voice, our looks, a lot of our, I don't want to say identity, but a lot of the importance is how, to us, is how we look, and how when we look in the mirror of what we see. And so I was like, how am I going to get on air and do this? And that morning, I remember I called Amy and my husband like, girl, you're going to be great. You're going to be fine. A lot of people are going to connect with this. And then Amy's like, she felt bad for me. She felt a little nervous for me because she would feel nervous if she had to do this. And Zach, I went on air and it was just overwhelming, the love and support that came pouring down. But what really, really got me was everybody has a Bell's palsy moment. That's what blew my mind.
Everyone was chiming in saying like, I have this, or I have this, or I have this medical problem, or
they were just saying, this is how I feel. Like I had one woman say, I'm divorced. My husband left me. I'm staying in bed all day. I feel so bad about myself. And I thought, oh my gosh, all these messages about what people are struggling with. And here's this message of this movement that we're trying to launch called Love Who You Are. And then I added a little tagline onto it, right where you are.
Yeah.
Love who you are, right where you are. That's what God was saying to me. Practice what you preach. Mm-hmm. And to me, I am leaning into this in a big way, although I'm hoping and praying that it's temporary, and I'm told by doctors it is. But even if it isn't, I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to love who I am right where I'm at. And that's really, honestly, what gets me excited, because the storm is a redirect. The storm is a focus. The storm is, for lack of a better word, a blessing. That's why we even did this show, Zach, is that we wanted people to level up their lives, embrace their confidence, collect it, live out it, but also to love their life. Because life is hard. It's hard. And a lot of times, these little annoyances, whether it be a medical or financial or relational, whatever your Bell's palsy moment is, it comes to distract. It comes to rob, steal, and kill and destroy. It comes to wear you down. But if we look at it through the lens of loving our life, it is really a redirect. It's a focusing tool. It's something that in spite of we can love, or if we lean into it, we can use it as an opportunity not only to strengthen ourselves, because things like this make you stronger. I always say, like when I got on air that Wednesday, it was a very vulnerable moment for me. And look, I'm an open book. I'm loud and proud. I say what I mean to say. You would think there would be no hesitation, just people looking out from the outside at my personality. But it was a very vulnerable moment for me. It's a very vulnerable moment for me to sit here in front of you right now and look this way and not be, not being able to smile. I mean, look, y'all, that's my smile. And it's not pretty, but it's mine. And it's where I'm at. And I can't control it. And I can't change it. And maybe where you're at, and I didn't cause it, maybe where you're at, you didn't cause it, you can't change it, and you can't control it. But you can lean into it, and you can love where you're at this moment, despite it. So 2024 is going to be a different kind of year for me. I mean, I was so looking forward to 2024 about December 15th. Now, 2024, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm ready to take and conquer it. I'm ready to lean into 2024 and own it and love my life. I am not going to waste one single minute of my life. And I don't want you to either. If you are dealing, and I'm not going to say if, you are dealing with something. Everybody is, Zach. I mean, and it can be as small as your kids acting up, your grandchildren, being tailholes. It can be, it could be you having a problem in your marriage. It could be you're lonely and want to be married. It can be that you're financially struggling because Lord knows, that's where a lot of people are at today. It could be you're dealing with a medical diagnosis that's disappointing, shocking, or not even promising, right? But this year, join me and a slew of other strong, fierce, amazing, beautiful women, and join our community, and let's love who we are right where we're at. Right? It's time. We can't hold back anymore. We can't say when I get better or when I have more money or when I lose weight or, whatever that is, fill in the blank. Let's not wait anymore. Let's start living and loving the life that we have. And love is not always, hearts and roses and chocolate candies. Sometimes love is a little painful.
It's work.
It's work. It's work. But if you're willing, I know I am. I'm doing it right now. I mean, to be honest with you, Travis was really concerned. Travis was really scared. I've never seen him kind of nervous. Not because my face is, but I've always been so strong. I've always been so present, so there. I've always been so like, suck it up, buttercup. We can do this. You know what I'm saying? And for once, I was, not like wanting to participate in the holidays with my family. I would just sit in my room and, I was then watching nothing. The TV just would be on and I would just be sitting there going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So to all my strong women out there that are always having to hold it down for everybody, you are a shero and I love you, but you've got to take care of yourself. I had to learn that the hard way, and I would just lay there in my bed and I just wanted to say, I give up, Uncle. I just wanted to call Uncle and just say, I give up. I'm out. And in a way, I did that. And it was the best thing I could do. So I decided to put on my makeup, put on my lip gloss with a crooked smile and all, and get back in the game. And so whatever your Bells Palsy moment is, get back in the game. Get back in the game. Yeah. Zach, it's been a game changer for me. I had to make the choice, though. I had to make the choice to decide to love who I am right where I'm at. Let's take a break, but after the break, we're going to be talking about how I'm making this mess into my message. Y'all, I have a new health obsession. I started drinking AG1 every morning, and I'm feeling a new boost of energy. AG1 makes me feel more focused because it supports my mental clarity and helps me improve my concentration. If you want to try it for yourself and support the show, then go check out drinkag1.com/KGS to get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Seriously, y'all, I gave AG1 a try and I can totally feel the difference. AG1 supports healthy aging, healthy skin, and healthier hair and nails. I'm laying the groundwork for long-term health. AG1 delivers a daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics. I drink AG1 every single morning. I just take 1 scoop of AG1, I mix it in my water, and I'm building a powerful, healthy habit that is so simple. AG1 is the supplement I trust to provide the support my body needs every single day. And that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/KGS. That's drinkag1.com/KGS. Y'all check it out, because a healthier you is right around the corner. I absolutely love my Factor meals. And when you support our sponsors like Factor, you're supporting the show so we can keep growing this community of powerful women. Visit factormeals.com/Kim50 and use code Kim50 to get 50% off your first box. And this is new, y'all. You also get 2 free wellness shots per box while your subscription is active. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make it easy to eat better every single day. And y'all know I'm busier than a one-armed paper hanger, and I used to go through the drive-thrus almost every day to get a fast meal. But now, Factor's chef-crafted yummy meals have changed the way I eat completely. Factor has made me healthier, and their calorie-smart meals are helping me keep my weight off. And they only take 2 minutes to heat up. And I have restaurant-quality food that's delicious and dietitian-approved. So head on over to factormeals.com/Kim50 and use code Kim50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code Kim50 at factormeals.com/Kim50 to get 50% off your first box and 2 free wellness shots per box while your subscription is active.
You said something in your live stream the other day that really took me aback, and it was that you said that you were almost glad that this happened to you. Can you talk to that, speak to that?
Well, the word almost is key. Okay, I mean, I ain't some like spiritual arrived person. I'm telling y'all, I'm so not arrived, it's not even like I'm so like I'm lost as an Easter egg 99% of the time. People don't believe that about me, but it's the truth. People say, "Oh, Kim's got it together." I ain't got nothing together. So when I'm saying almost glad, almost is emphasized all caps, because
the reason I say that is because it's made me stop and slow down. I had a friend call me this morning. He's a dear friend. His name is Lawrence Darian, and he called me and said, this is God telling you to take a beat. And I said, yeah, you're completely right. Because I was working myself to death, and a lot of us are doing that. And a lot of us are, I'm a workaholic. Zach, you're a workaholic.
Oh, yeah.
I come from a long line of workaholic. Hello, I'm Kim Gravel, and I'm a workaholic. A lot of us are recovering workaholics in busy bees. A lot of people don't want to be bored, or, they don't want to take time to just stop and smell the roses. And that's me. Full disclosure, that's me. But this forced slowdown is what I'm glad for. Thursday, I sat in bed, and I only sat at my desk for 3 hours. It was so amazing, and I took 2 naps, and I didn't go to my son's basketball game because they have 5,000 a week, and I said, you know what, Travis, I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to stay at home and rest, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, we won the game, and I'm glad the kids won the game. But honestly, I didn't really miss it. It was nice just to take an evening and just read a book alone. So when I say I'm almost glad this happened, I'm not glad and happy about how it's painful, and it's really altered my smile, because I do miss smiling. I do. But I'm glad that it has made me present and understand that it's just but a vapor. We're here for a short amount of time. And sometimes, whatever your slowdown is, some people might need to pick up the pace. You know what I'm saying? Some people need to push. Some people need to slow down. Some people need to stand up. Some people need to cut it off. Ooh, some people need to cut something off. A relationship, a habit, whatever. I used to love my fast food, Zach. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I love me some Chick-fil-A. Do you drive through a lot? Did you ever drive through a lot?
A lot. When I was working in TV,
right,
all the time. Yeah, especially on the road. You don't eat well on the road. Are you kidding me?
You can't. No. You can't. But you start saying, some people have to cut some things off. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, whatever that almost glad thing you've got going on, that thorn in your side, maybe it's speaking to you. The challenges we're going through don't have to tear us down. They can be the stepping stones to take us higher. Not only is it a lesson through this struggle, but there's a blessing on the other side of it. So if you're ready to join me on this journey in 2024 of loving who you are right where you're at, and some of you might say, Kim, I'm not ready. But do you think you could learn to love who you are right where you're at? Some people are like, I'm ready, Freddie, Uncle, let's go. I got you, Kim. I'm there with you. And some people are like, I don't know. This sounds like a bunch of little hot hocus pocus nonsense. Like, oh, girl, you're just trying to be positive. I'm not talking about not recognizing the struggle. I'm talking about the struggle being your friend. And some of you might be saying, Kim, I can't say I'm there yet, but I'm willing to learn to love who I am right where I'm at. If that is you, you are in the right place. And you know what I love? I want to hear what your Bells Palsy moment is. Maybe, Zach, when I tell you, I have gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people commenting what their Bells Palsy moment is. It's to the point where I'm like, does everybody have something? We all got something. We all got something, Zach.
Yep. Every single person's got something.
We've got something.
So send us an email, leave us a voicemail, go to our website, kimgravelshow.com, send us a message, tell us. And maybe we'll talk about it on the show, because that's what we're doing this season, right? This season is all about loving who you are. It's all about living that message.
As the season goes on, we will be talking about how to do that and what that looks like. I'm not talking about a bunch of narcissists. Okay. And let me tell you something, people. This is why Bells Palsy. Let me tell you something, people. The world is full of people who are obsessed with themselves. But let me tell you something. Sometimes you can celebrate the struggle a little bit too much too. See, to me, the Bell's palsy is not important. I don't focus on that anymore and how I look. I focus on who it touches now. I did not realize there was such power in the problem.
Now, power in the problem. I like that, Kim.
But it's true, right? There's such power in our problems because it connects us. It draws us together. Really, like, okay, let me give you an example. Like, you might not have the same faith I have, or you might not have the same ethnicity as I have, or you might not live in the same region as I have, or you might not think the way I think. But what we all have in common is struggle. We all got that. Struggle unites us. See, that's what we can relate to each other on. There's where your connection comes in. None of us have it together. None of us are absent of struggle. And every struggle matters. Pain is pain. It don't matter what it is. I mean, I had one young woman. This is great. I love this. I had one young woman reach out. Says, Miss Kim, she was young. She was in college. She was like, I saw your live and I'm praying for you about your Bells palsy, but I failed my final in college. There was an English final or a lit class she had, and she failed her final. And she said, I've got to retake the class now because I didn't notice that. But sometimes these college classes, all you have is one test at the end of the semester. Yep. Did you know that?
I've had classes like that. I've had a class where 100% of the grade was one test at the end, and that was it.
Oh,
it was terrible.
You know, and I thought to myself, gosh, we're all struggling with something. All of us. And that's what unites us. So this is what this community, the Love Who You Are community is all about. We're here to lift each other up. We're here to struggle together, and we're here to love who we are right where we're at. So y'all buckle up because we're going to do it this season. Bells palsy and all. Zach, this might not come back. The doctor said it would, but don't start Googling all your ailments online because if you do that, I was like, oh my God, this could last right. Kim MD.
Don't do Kim MD. I don't think Kim MD is a very good idea.
I'll take a bit.
Not Kim, not that you wouldn't be a good MD.
I would be an awful MD. You do not want me doing your medical stuff. Now, if you want me to beat your face and put some makeup on you and your lip balm, that I could do.
There you go. That you could do. I could do.
do.
No, just don't look up your medical stuff online. Kim, can I ask you a question? Yeah. How much did was there like a voice inside your head, like that negative voice inside your head that started coming up and getting really loud when this happened?
Yeah. Well, it gets loud all the time, anytime. So, but I mean, I guess what really hit me was like, this is my career. This is my livelihood. And I started seeing everything slip away and go away. The fear was speaking louder than the faith.
Yeah.
It's so funny how fear is a liar. Fear is nothing but a big fat liar. And liars don't tell the truth, and they distract from what's the truth. And that's exactly what fear does.
Yeah.
And so anytime I start getting fearful that my face won't come back, I start really thinking of the things that I love about my life, which is I do miss my smile, but I can still laugh. I still can make people laugh. Even with the crooked smile. That's got to make some people laugh, me just doing that. So, I mean, there's a lot that's, what I'm saying? There's a lot there's a lot to be grateful for. So, in fear and gratefulness, anxiety and gratefulness, depression and gratefulness cannot coexist. So I have to start thinking, gosh, I'm grateful that I could come and be and do my job on TV. It's with Bells Palsy. But not only that, I'm grateful that people connect with the message. and that people are saying, Kim, this is what I'm struggling with. Like, I'm so grateful the connection is still there. And it really has nothing to do with my faith and everything to do with my heart.
This episode is sponsored by ZocDoc, where you can find and book a top doctor for free. Check them out at ZocDoc.com/Kim and download the app for free. Because when you support our sponsors, you're supporting this show. And y'all, when it comes to your health, you can't make any compromises. Like right now, I'm dealing with Bells Palsy on the left side of my face. And when something like this happens, it's so important to get the care you need. But y'all, it's hard to find good doctors out there. I mean, who has referrals? This is the perfect place to come and get the referral you need in your location. It's easy as putting in your zip code and what you're dealing with your health needs. And that's why I'm so glad ZocDoc is our sponsor, because if you're dealing with your own medical issue, then ZocDoc can help you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly, y'all, book your appointments with them online. I went to ZocDoc.com/Kim and it is so easy. I put in Bells Palsy and my zip code, and then it showed me over 100 top doctors with verified reviews. And it even showed me their appointment calendar so I could just make the appointment right away. My first search took 10 seconds and they didn't even ask me for any personal information to do the search. So don't settle when it comes to your health. Go for the best and find the right doctor for you. With ZocDoc, you can book your appointment immediately with a doctor that you can trust, because all of the ratings are from real verified patients. You can even filter for your doctors who take your insurance and for specialists who treat your condition. I've tried ZocDoc and you should too. Go to ZocDoc.com/Kim and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/Kim. ZocDoc.com/Kim, and get the doctor and the health care you need.
Do you think that you would have been able to go on TV with Bell's palsy, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, before we were sort of in this moment of social media where we sort of relate to people on a different way and we see people's struggles a little more publicly?
I don't know. I don't know, Zach. That's a good question. I don't know if it's I think the timing is right, but I don't know why it's happened now, but I don't think I would have done it if I hadn't been forced to get on TV and do it. Like, I had no choice.
Right.
You know, and I will say that sometimes a lot of us don't have a choice. I mean, if you've been diagnosed with breast cancer, you don't have a choice. You have to soldier through. You have to, really find your way through the struggle. You're in the weeds and you got to find your way out. But the great thing about it is there are lessons of loving who you are through the whole process. Again, I'm going to go back to what, that still small voice God whispered to my spirit. He said, girl, you got to practice what you preach. It's easy to say, love who you are, girl, when you seemingly have everything all together. Which none of us do, but, this has put a kink in it. And I truly can say I do love who I am, but I'm having to do it right where I'm at. And that can be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
See, that's great. The whole time we were developing the line, and I was like, love who you are. You said, love yourself. Love who you are. And me in my little flamboyant rick-rack way. I was like, girl, love who you are. But when you add on right where you're at, that's when it gets hard. The right where you're at part came when the Bells Palsy came. I never said right where you at until this happened to me.
That's the realness.
Right?
That's the moment that you are forced to live it. Right?
Yeah. It's easy to say, love who you are and be positive. But when you say right where you're at, that's where it gets. That's where the metal hits the pedal hits the metal. What is that called? The metal hits the pedal. What is that?
Where the rubber hits the road?
The rubber hits the road.
Kim, I want to show you something. I want your take on something. Now that we're talking about this, we're talking about your smile. There's a famous smile that I've been thinking about a lot, and I want to get your take. And I want to know, do you think that the Mona Lisa maybe had Bell's palsy?
I don't know. She looks pretty even to me.
I don't know. She's
pretty though. Isn't she pretty?
She's pretty.
Was she a real person, or was that just a made up? Like,
I think it was a real person. Yeah.
Okay. Or that was his fantasy woman or something. So she's a real person. Okay.
I think so.
She looked like she had Bell's palsy. She looked like she's like, let me tell you something. These boys don't clean their house and flush the toilets and do what they're supposed to do. They do their homework. I'm out of here.
Oh my gosh. I'm coughing because I just recovered from COVID. We've had it rough this year so far, Kim. It's been a hard 2024 so far.
I don't know. I'm telling you, 2024 has been like this. But we're going to get there, y'all. We're going to do it together. We're going to do it together.
Just tell me, because I know everyone's curious, what's coming up with Love Who You Are? I know, we're talking about that message a lot this season on the podcast, but you have this new brand. What's coming up for the brand? What can people look forward to?
Love Who You Are is a lifestyle brand, y'all, and it's going to have podcasts, inspirational books. We've got a home line launching, a holiday line launching, a lot of different lifestyle elements. But the message to me is what's the most important, because with this limited amount of time we have, and it is limited. I was sitting with my mom and dad Friday at breakfast, and my dad said, I've just been thinking a lot. I hope I'm here to see, his youngest grandson, Brantley, graduate. And, that's like 8 years from now. And he's 78. And I thought to myself, wow. And he leaned over and he goes, I don't know where the time went, Kim. And I thought, that's how short it is. It goes by so fast not to love it. And we have to remind ourselves to love it.
Yeah. Because
we're living it every day. And we get in that monotonous and that grind. And some of us are in the struggles. All of us aren't really. We're in those struggles and we're focusing on the struggle. But we've got to focus on what we love about our lives more. Because like my dad said, I hope I have another 7 or 8 years. Because it goes like that. So why not have fun? Why not love it? All love it. Right where we're at.
Give me some tunes, honey. Give me some music, boo-boo kitty.
You got deep there, Kim.
Well, look, let's close it with this.
Hey, Kim.
Hey.
I have a question for you. Before we get started, I just really want to know. So you recently recorded a TikTok live.
I did.
How did it go?
I got to tell you something. I loved it. I thought I was going to be like, okay, here it goes. I loved it because not that Instagram's live is great too, but that TikTok live and you've got your shop and it's a whole new group of people. I don't know. I have now just broken that fourth wall or fifth wall or whatever wall we in. I am done crossed over, Zach. I am a TikTok lover. Okay. We have a special relationship. I'm dating TikTok.
Okay. Well, that's great, Kim. I'm really glad that's your position because I got all the footage. I made a little present for you. So let me roll the tape.
Tonight, in my very first TikTok live, I've got a shop that I want to share with you several things. Now,
oh, Lord.
Amy.
Yes.
How do I start pulling up this stuff? Because
I'm not sure.
Well, this technology is, somebody was in,
Kiss my what?
Anyway, back to this. Okay.
I think we can tag them. I don't want people to see I have a clean bathroom. You do have a clean bathroom.
It ain't that clean. Okay, well, but I want to add it to the thing.
I can't see.
Okay.
I don't know where to tag. Anyway,
Hey,
I'm just
me
going
no
to
help.
show the stuff and you figure it out. So do y'all see that shop on car art? And they probably already all know how to use shop TikTok. But anyway.
It's not shop TikTok. It's TikTok shop. Whatever. So people are answering my question. Thank you, viewers. I love you so much. Okay.
What do you think, Kim?
Let me just say this. My children are worthless. They're worthless. Because they know how to do
into this?
No, because I can. That's why. That's it. Because everybody's like, my teenage kids help me. My teenage kids don't do jack crap for me on this stuff. I called them in there and they're like, I'm busy.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, you're busy doing what? Scrolling TikTok?
So
Bo told me, he said, that's it. I'm not helping you anymore because you share my business. He said that. He said, you share my business.
That's fair. That is totally fair. And that would be my position too. Do you want to change your answer though?
And you know what I said to him? And you know what I said to him? Well, you share my bank account, okay? I can share your business, Bo, because you share my bank account.
There you go.
Hashtag real world problem.
This is the Kim Bells Show.
I'm here with my new best friend, the most fashionable person on daytime TV.
Wait a minute, where's that sock? Where's that shoe? 10 years of hard work, and then one day, it all went away.
You had the courage to step off and leave.
My sister died in her home, and it is an unsolved murder. Hopefully, I can write this. I marched my husband into the bathroom, and it was a case of who done it. He did not jump off to try and save me. I broke up with him before we made it to land.
The best decision I made in the last 24 hours is blank.
To do this podcast with you and hang out with you.
Welcome to the Kim Gravel Show. I'm Kim Gravel, and today I have a great show for you. Y'all, the one and only Tamron Hall is here. She is an Emmy award-winning television host and executive producer of the syndicated talk show Tamron Hall. She's a veteran journalist, and she's also the best-selling author. Her new novel drops on March 12th, and it's called Watch Where They Hide, but you can pre-order it right now, and you know I got mine. We'll get to Tamron in a second. I want to give you a heads up, though, to stick around until after the interview because I have a listener voicemail and outtakes that are guaranteed to make you smile. All right, y'all, it's time. Let's welcome the most fashionable woman in daytime television, not to mention one of the smartest. Welcome.
It's Tamron, it's Tamron Hall.
Wait a minute, did you call angels from heaven for me? Wait a minute,
I did.
That sounds beautiful.
I got a direct line, girl. I got a direct line.
I love it.
I love you. Can I just can I just celebrate you for a hot minute? I mean, your career is award-winning, decorated. But girl, the things that you've accomplished, I used to watch you back in your journalism days. You're from Texas. You're a Southern girl. Do you like boiled peanuts?
Okay, that's where the line stops. I do like pecans roasted, but boiled peanuts is the line for me. But I love peanuts.
I always ask every Southern that's on the show. No, I'm so glad that you came. You know, I read your first book. Book.
Thank you.
Now you've got this second book coming out. Tell me all about you're a journalist, but you're an author too?
Oh my God.
How do you have time to do all of this?
Listen, I look at you and I ask myself the same thing. First of all, you know, I adore you and thank you. You've been so good to me and my show, and I just love you so much. And I feel so blessed and honored that you even read my book and want to talk to me about it. But I didn't know I was an author. Hello. I knew I was a journalist for 30 years. I'm trying to be a good mama, and I hope a good daughter and a good friend. But you know what? The first book I wrote in this crime series, we were locked in a global pandemic. None of us knew what was going to happen next. And I said, so many things about life we put off, right? We keep saying, we're going to get to it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And I was so bored with my husband, and I was like sitting there trapped in. And I said, I got to do something. So I was like, I'm going to take this leap of faith because we don't know truly what tomorrow is going to bring. And I started writing this character, Jordan Manning. She's kind of inspired by when I was a kid and I'd read Nancy Drew, and I used to watch Angie Dickinson as police lady. I'm 53. Ooh. So for anybody who doesn't know who that show is, just Google it. And so I always watched these crime dramas and read these kinds of books. And I thought, I'm going to take some of the experiences that I've had 30 years of being a journalist, much of that as a crime reporter, and create this sassy, bold character who's a journalist by day, but she's pulled in to solve some of these cases. And the first book was out and critics loved it. I couldn't believe it because I was really just winging it. It really was this moment of vulnerability for me, Kim, because I said, you know, so many things we've been fortunate and blessed to accomplish, but there's always more. And that doesn't mean more money, that means more to this journey. And I was like, I'm going to do it. If it's bad, it's bad. And if it's good, it's great.
You know what? I love what you said that it was vulnerable because when I wrote my book, I felt the same way. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm like, that's just torture. Clearly, that's not my God-given gift. But you know what? You do what you're called to do. But I also like what you said about, you know, we put things off. And Tamron, why do we do that? Why are we always putting off the things that we really should be doing and that we have in our heart's desire? Why do you think we do? Because I do it too.
Yeah. I think it's two things. So first of all, I think we are, at some point in our life, we believe we have all the time in the world. And then you get to a certain point like me, where that Bonnie Raitt song is Scared to Run Out of Time. So you're always in the middle. You're one in when you're in your 20s or when you're 18 and you're like, I have all the time in the world. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to travel here. I'm going to try. And then for me, you wake up and suddenly you're saying, gosh, I'm 48. That's not old. That's middle of the journey, some would say. But I've got so many things I didn't get to. How is this possible? So I think we are always in these two worlds. And so for me, I found myself 49 years old, a little bit scared to run out of time, like everybody at that time in the world. And then feeling that I'm done so much, but I want to do more. And I do think if that moment of fear, you know, we're in 2019, we're all cocky swagger now. None of us was that in 2019. We're like, oh, dear God, what's going to happen with my life? And so for me, I thought, let me do this. I'd been approached to write, you know, beauty books and memoirs. And I thought there'll be time for that. But I really wanted to do something no one expected, even myself. I didn't think I could do it, which was a funny feeling, right? I got this talk show, first season. I was like, wait a minute, did they actually give me an Emmy? That didn't really happen, right? Because I'm like,
they did. And
I was
yes,
like,
they should have too. Yeah.
I'm like, did my mom sneak in some ballots? So I couldn't believe it, but I was finding my comfort zone, right? I've been doing this. And there is something satisfying, and I know you understand this, with being uncomfortable. We run from it, but stepping into discomfort, and then you get through the burn, and then you get off the bike,
it's a high.
It's a high.
It's a high.
Getting past discomfort leaves you on this emotional high. And so for me, that book, especially being a woman at the time, almost 50 years old, was uncomfortable. I felt vulnerable. I was nervous that people wouldn't receive it. Who does she think she is? She's got a talk show. Stay in your lane, right? You know that. Stay in your lane,
right?
But
I've heard it.
I thought, let me just go for it and let me try it. Why not?
But you know what, Faith, I connect with you so much, Tamron, watching you on your show and watching you over the years, but also having met you and even talking to you right now. You're such a strong woman of faith. And I got to say, you know, first of all, I feel like you're my BFF because I feel like I could sit down and just talk about God, talk about faith, talk about what, you know, the future. Because, you know, with faith comes hope. But in 2017, girl, I got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because after being on the Today Show, how long were you on the Today Show when you had left?
10
when you left?
10 years. 10 years.
I was a fan back then. You had the courage to step off and leave and start over. And so many people listening to you right now, Tamron, first of all, they might not know the story behind that. You share what you want to share from your heart.
Yeah.
The story behind it is not all the whatever, why you left or whatever. It's the courage that you had to leave, girl.
Well, you know what, Kim?
I
didn't have courage. I had faith, because here's the deal.
That's it.
And I'm telling you the truth. So I was there for 10 years, and I thought it was my dream job. In fact, on my desk was a picture of me and my mom. 10 years prior, we were here to see The Color Purple, the musical, on Broadway. I'd been local news in Chicago. I had a great gig there. And I wanted to treat my mom to see The Color Purple on Broadway the first time it came. And we were walking around New York with my best friend, and we walked by Radio City Music Hall. And my mom is a great woman of faith and really believes if she prays for you, it's going to happen. Like my mother's like, she's got the direct line. She's got a direct line. And so my mother stood in front of Rockefeller Center, and she said, "You're going to be working here next year." And I was like, "No way. There is no way." My mom said, "Watch, you'll see." Sure enough, a year to the date, and this is a true story, I got a call from Steve Kappas, who was the then president of news at NBC. He said to me, they were scouting different local news talents, and he called and said, "What do you want to keep being a big fish in a little pond?" And I'm like, Chicago's a little pond, but I'm very competitive. Right. Yeah. I'm a Texan, so don't challenge me. I was like, don't you challenge? Wait a minute. What you talking about? And he said, "Why don't you come and go national? You have the goods, I can tell. Do you believe you have to go national?" So I go into his office that day. And again, this story is, it's one day I'm doing my memoir. I had a beloved dog. Her name was Anime, after Tina Turner, Anime Bullock. That was her name because she had flaming red hair, this little dog. And my dog had taken ill. I didn't have any children. I wasn't even in a relationship. So this is my whole world. And she was sick. I got on the plane, and all I could think about was this dog. And I'm like, I don't even care about this job anymore because this is my pet and she's my family. I get into his office, and I said to him, "I didn't realize this, but I have this picture in my bag, my purse." I took it out and I showed him. And back then it was one of those cameras you crank, and it had the date. It had the date on the picture. Right. Yeah. I had the date, and I handed him the picture. It was 1 year exactly to the date, stamped on there with my mother pointing at that sign saying, "You're going to be working in this building." He starts to cry because he recently lost his mother. He couldn't believe that on the exact date, a year before, my mother stood in front of that building and claimed that job for me. And I said to him, "As much as I want this job, my pet is sick and I have to get back because she's my family." He could not, but he was like, "Wait a minute, what is happening here?" He's like, "Can't you see there's a sign?" And I said, "But it's also a sign to me that work matters, but the things I love outside of work matter too." I got back on that plane and I got that job. I couldn't believe it. So here I am in this place that we always find ourselves, family and profession and what matters most. My mother called it. I got the job, 10 years of hard work. And then one day it all went away. I was made an offer I could refuse. I went home. It was a Tuesday. I went in my closet. I prayed. And I emerged from that closet saying, I'll never come back. But there's something else for me.
It was faith.
I was full on faith.
And I love the story about your mother because I want to park it there for 2 hot seconds because I feel like something's speaking to my spirit about someone watching right now, because I will tell you, people say, "Well, how do you have faith?" Tamron, how have you developed this faith? Because I think there are signs and wonders all around. I think he's always speaking to us in that still small voice. How do you recognize? Now, of course, your mom's probably loud and you say, "Hey, girl, this is where you're going to be." So you listen to that. How did you recognize those sweet whispers of faith when they come upon you?
Well, it's how I was raised. My mother was a 19-year-old single mother who on her own left Luling, Texas with a daughter and stepped out on faith. She often would tell me this story of my grandfather saying to her, "You don't need to move to Dallas, Fort Worth at the time because all the opportunities in our small town, like many small towns, had evaporated." And he said, "Just stay here. I will help you raise her." And my mother said, "I have to go. I have to see what I can build for her." And I grew up hearing this story of this 19-year-old girl who stepped out on faith. And so for me, it's been a part of everything that I am. I'm from a part of the world that people don't say, "How much do you make?" They don't ask you about the things in your home. They tell you their testimony, right? It's not what you have, it's how you got it. And the only way you get it is through faith. It's through faith, it's through belief, it's through knowing that God puts these challenges in front of us. I remember when I was in Chicago, and it rang true when I started this talk show. My mother said, I was having a hard time with a TV critic, and he was just writing mean things about me, just awful. I never met the man. And it was like, what is it? And this was my first exposure. And my mother said, God is not going to move you to the next point until you can handle this one.
Come on.
And she said, you have to take yourself out of this and say, everything that you have is not because someone gave it to you. It is because you work for it, and it's because God meant it for you. So as they try to tear you down, you're impenetrable. You're impenetrable because you are protected by the blood of Christ. God has you. And you have to believe that. And I've watched this many points in my life. Kim, even when I went through IVF with my child, I laughed because I was on the cover of People magazine and it said Tamron Miracle Baby. And it didn't even occur to me because I was so full on faith and I was so confident in my faith. And that doesn't mean that, and let me be clear, there are many, many people who pray for the opportunity to have a child, and it does not, and that doesn't mean that my faith was stronger. I cannot say that, but it was the journey that God meant for me. And I have been allowed to share the testimony of being a late to the party parent, as I call myself. I've been able to share how in the midst of what people were calling courageous in leaving that situation at my prior job, it was truly faith. And I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel vengeful. That's why people say, oh, you handle it with such class. You never tried to, disparage where you, I didn't feel it. I knew that my wings could not be lifted if I allowed that to enter my heart. And that's not what God wanted me to do. And I know that. And I have no doubts about it because I'm here.
Well, you're here. And that's that deep, rich faith that I think, believe it or not, even though people don't even know that they long for. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
People really long for that kind of faith. Okay. Well, when we come back, we've got more with Tamron Hall after this short break. We're going to talk about faith and how that faith got her to her very own Emmy award-winning talk show after this, y'all.
This episode is sponsored by ZocDoc, where you can find and book a top doctor for free. Check them out at ZocDoc.com/Kim and download the free app. Because when you support our sponsors, you're supporting our community of women who love who they are. I'm always looking for doctors for my kids, and I want them to have the very best. Like when my kids get a cut or a sprained ankle, catches a cold, or even cracks their rib on Friday Night Lights football game. Whatever you need, whether it be a specialist or a general practitioner, ZocDoc is the place to go where you can find and book tens of thousands of top-tier doctors with all verified patient reviews. So y'all don't settle. Go for the best and find the right doctor for you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book your appointment with them online. That's right. Once you find the doctor you want, you can book with them immediately right on ZocDoc's site. I'm telling you, they even have specialists with verified reviews from real patients. And you can even filter for doctors who take your insurance and are located near you. I've tried ZocDoc, and you should try it too. So go to ZocDoc.com/Kim and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Kim. ZocDoc.com/Kim. And find the healthcare and the doctors you need.
All right, we are back with who Vogue called the most fashionable person on daytime TV. Okay, Tamron Hall. Do you know how fashionable you are, girl? Like, I tune in. I love to hear you, but when I see you, I'm like, girl, could I pull that off? Let me see. And then I go Google it, or I figure out who the designer was.
Listen, my Uncle Henry tells me all the time, he's like, I just turn it on to see what you got on. I'm like, Uncle Henry,
I like Uncle Henry.
I just turn it on to see what you got on.
Is that part of the perk, or is that on purpose? You know what I'm saying? Is that part of the
it's
perk
intentional. Listen, it's intentional.
Okay.
I was like the women who I grew up with on a Sunday morning. You gonna know I walked in, girl, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. Because you know what it is? You're here. You're like, I'm here and I'm going to celebrate this moment. And we are very intentional about how we step out. I plan the whole week of wardrobe in advance. That's something I learned from my dad. My dad was in the Army for 30 years. And his rule was if you pick out your whole week's worth of clothing, that's one less thing you have to worry about. And I always tell people that because it's like, think about how many times you have an event or you need to go to work or something you need to pick. And you're like, wait a minute, where's that sock? Where's that shoe? That's at the cleaners. And then you are late to where you need to be. So part of my journey is also being present. And that allows me to be present, that I try to take care of these little things.
Was it always your dream to have a talk show, though? I mean, I know you've been a journalist.
No.
And, because a lot of times I'm not trying to shade anybody or anything, but from journalists to talk, that's two different giftings. Would you say? Like, being able to stay in the news? Okay.
So here's what I think is the common thread. Just like you, I love people. I am.
Yeah, you do.
I love people. I love hearing your story. I love curious people. That's just, we can sit and talk to somebody all night long. They'd be like, okay, Kim, okay, Tamron, I got to get up out of here. You're like, no, wait a minute, let me ask you one more thing. I got to get my car, my meter ran out. I'm like, no, I have more questions. I've always been very curious about people, and I love hearing folks, their story. I'm often asked, well, who's my favorite guest? And I said, listen, I don't have a favorite guest. I have a feeling. I love when people come to talk, when they come to take off the mask that we all wear, and you strip down to who you are. That doesn't mean you're not going to protect certain things, because you do have to protect your soul. You have to protect your spirit, to protect your loved ones. I didn't tell I was pregnant until I was 32 weeks because I needed to enjoy that moment with my new husband. And I didn't need people like, wait, she's too old. What is this? And I needed that time. But as we rip off our masks and we're able to share who we are, I think that's the best journey. That's the best about life. So I was always very curious. So as a journalist, I was curious. And then going into this talk show, I said, well, I have to use who I am. Of course, there were many people who said, okay, do hot topics, do this. And I was like, that's not me. That's somebody else. Let me be me. And I always felt confident that the audience would come. The Tam fam would find me. So I just like to talk. My favorite restaurant is my table in my house.
Yes.
The wine is cheaper than it is at the restaurant. I can take my shoes off. Girl. I can put and just hang out. So I just I truly thrive off of being around and talking to people. And so I just translated to this talk show.
It is so natural, and you talked about like taking off that mask, and I had to rip my mask off recently, big time. I'm dealing with Bells Palsy. I woke up like halfway through the holidays and just the left side of my face just was not cooperating. I thought, Lord, did I have a stroke? But it's just Bells Palsy. It's getting better by the day, thank God. But I'm getting so much support from women just going on TV and being present like on QVC and having this issue. Have you had to ever like struggle with something, whatever your Bells Palsy, has been? Of course.
No.
And how did you do it? How did you do it?
First of all, another reason I love you so much is that you are so revealing, and in your revealing, you are healing. And that is so critical in somebody's journey. And for me, the closest comparison would be the loss of my sister. My sister died in her home, and it is an unsolved murder. But I didn't talk about it was murder?
That it was murder?
Yes, the cause of death is, and for me, while the case is still open and hasn't been solved, what we knew and at the time and many years before is that she was in a relationship where there was domestic violence. And going back to your taking off the mask, I just come to New York. It just started out. And when you're just starting out, they always ask you, do you want to host these different events? And half the time you don't, but you're trying to get in the good graces of the network and everybody else. So
you're trying to pay your dues, pay your dues.
And so they invited me to host at the last minute this event for an organization called Day One. I never heard of Day One, didn't know what it was. I get there and it's an actual organization. I'm teaching young people, particularly high school age, how to love, like that love doesn't have to be toxic, that it doesn't have to be violent, that crazy in love is not a good thing. And so I'm there and nobody really knows about it. Just started out and several young girls started to tell their stories of being survivors of abuse. And I'm talking 15, 16 young girls with horrific stories of, one child, Kim talked about her boyfriend beating her so severely. She had stitches in her head. And it was just, I couldn't believe, like, kids, these are babies, 15, 16 years old. And, in the South, we have the saying, fair exchange, no robbery. And they're telling me their truth. And they're taking off their mask in this big event, this fancy hotel to raise funds for this organization. And I'm standing off to the side. And I walked over to the microphone and I said, I don't feel right sitting here hearing your story and not telling you my story. And I shared with them that right before my sister's death, she was in a relationship and the person had been in our home, and I witnessed the violence. And I was so upset with her that she wasn't willing to leave that I stopped talking to her. Oh. And I, at the time, thought, this is what you do. You get out of this. You can do better. You don't need him. We're here thinking
pick
that
yourself up.
Not knowing the things that I know now. And thank God my father called right before the holidays and said, you all need to iron this out. And we did. And soon after, she was found dead. And I told them that I lived with such shame and such guilt, and that I was telling this story because I want to help people learn how to talk and support their family members. I want to tell one of the most painful secrets of family to anyone who's willing to listen, because through my wrong, hopefully I can right this. And I started working with survivors of domestic violence, and we try to teach families and loved ones how to approach it. And the number one way is just listen. Everyone wants to be heard. Listen. And so, like with your story and your challenge here, you're willing to put yourself out there and tell. You could hide, you could take a hiatus, you could take a break, but you're saying, no, I'm not going to do that. I want you to know what's happening here. And that's what I try to do with this situation with my sister, is that not to be another celebrity with a problem. Because I was like, I don't want to tell this story because I don't want people to think, okay, here's another celebrity with, oh, look at what happened to me.
No, it's connecting, girl.
Yeah. And it is. It's connecting. And it's connecting. And that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing in these journeys. And so for me, I've been so blessed to work with Safe Horizon, which is the largest shelter in the country, helping survivors of domestic violence. I'm still an ally of day one. And it was taking off the mask and saying, here's a part of my story that I hope through this pain that I can help heal somebody else.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, you said it's all about listening. I could listen to you talk all day. Well, I do at least an hour every day.
And I talk a lot. That's why I got a talk show.
I love it. That's it. You might as well talk, honey, because you're good at it.
Because I got in trouble in school. God is always listening.
I could talk the hair off a monkey's butt, honey. I talk and talk and talk. And God is always listening. That's what I love too. I've heard you say that before. God is always there listening.
Yeah.
All right. I do this. I've got to let you go because I know you're a busy woman.
No.
We do this with every guest. We did a little bit different with you.
Okay.
After the break, we're going to come back and do something I called rapid fire, fill in the blank right after this.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Our sponsors are so important because when you support them, you are also supporting this show so that we can bring a new episode to you every single week. So visit factormeals.com/Kim50 and use code Kim50 to get 50% off your first box. And you can also get 2 free wellness shots per box while your subscription is active. Okay, y'all, I have a little bit of problem though. Factor is so good that my husband Travis and my kids keep eating all my Factor meals. Factor meals are chef crafted and ready to eat, so they are fast and delicious. And with my family, if I put delicious meals in the fridge that only take 2 minutes to heat up, they're gone before I can say boo. Factor has over 35 options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and so much more. They also have snacks, smoothies, breakfast options, and over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that make your meals even more delicious. And it's cheaper than takeout, y'all. I eat it when I need a quick meal that's healthy and yummy. And as long as my kids don't get to it first, I'm going to get me a Factor meal. So head over to factormeals.com/Kim50 and use code Kim50 to get 50% off your first box and 2 free wellness shots per box while the subscription is active. That's code Kim50 at factormeals.com/Kim50 to get 50% off your first box and 2 free wellness shots per box while your subscription is active. Just keep them away from your family, y'all, or you're never going to get one.
I'm here with my new best friend, even though she might not know it yet. It's Tamron Hall.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Take it, Tamron. Call me, honey. I'll come over for dinner anytime. I'll bring the cheap wine too.
Kim, what about me?
Listen,
what about me, Kim?
Oh, Zach. Yeah, for sure. I don't want to leave Zach out.
We got room for Zach because we need somebody that's going to wash the dishes, Zach. That's the rule. If I cook, you got to wash the dishes.
You know what? I'm sold.
It.
I'll come over anytime,
I'm sold. We're there. Okay. Every guest, we do what we call rapid fire. This time, I did rapid fire fill in the blank. So here we go. Don't think about it.
I won't.
What comes up, comes out.
Okay,
here we go.
I'm ready. Okay.
All right, here we go. I own too many blank.
Shoes.
I knew you were going to say shoes. Your shoe game is insane. Like, how many pairs of shoes do you have, like, at the studio and at the house?
Hundreds.
Okay.
Hundreds.
Really?
Like, I think we counted the studio the other day. We're at 360 at the. I've been in TV a long time, Kim. I'm 53. I started TV at 18. I have shoes older than some of my producers.
Okay, let me ask you this though. With those shoes, have you hit your high heel threshold? I have hit mine. Can't do 4 inches.
Yes.
I can't do 3.5. So, okay.
Yes.
What's your high heel threshold, my love?
Well, it's a time limit. So I still do 4.5, but I got about 10 good minutes of stand time. So I walk out on the set. I call them ballet shoes or 10 minutes stand time. So I walk out my TH doors and I head straight. All I see is that chair. That looks like an oasis. I'm like, look at that chair. And Mom's like, some days it seems like it's getting further away.
Yes. Yeah.
I got 10
you're
minutes
just like
stand
a
time.
bobbing woman trying to get there. I love that. 10 minutes. So it's not a heel height. It's a time limit. Okay.
It's a time limit.
My experience with Hollywood can be summed up with this one word, blank.
Dark comedy.
And keep it real. Keep it real. What'd you just say?
A dark comedy. Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's Pulp Fiction. You take it from there.
No, nothing else needs to be said. I think you're going to get a lot of amens and hallelujahs and thumbs up on that one. If I only had one day to live, I would blank.
Hug my son the entire day. I would smell his breath and his hair. I would just hug him and smell him the whole day.
And I'm going to tell you, that's going to change when they become 16. Trust me.
Listen, it's already changed a little bit. Those little stinky shoes at a 4-year-old. I was like, how do your feet smell at 4?
I don't want you to throw your husband under the bus. So you can or cannot answer this. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I never sit on a clean toilet seat. How about you?
Oh, you know what, Kim? I just I marched my husband into the bathroom, and it was a case of who done it. I was like, I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's you or your son, but somebody better get this, whatever this yellowness is. I was like, this is disgusting. I went from being single with a pristine white bathroom, white towels, white rug. I am clean. So over them. They're going to, honey, listen, they got to get their own bathroom. No, I'm not. They're going to get their own bathroom. They're going to get a bathroom. I'm going to get one of those padlocks that your hand has to go on. And that's the only way you can get in the bathroom. Because
it's like your what's it called? Y'all, I can't even think about it.
Yeah,
thumbprint. Thank you.
Retinal scan.
No, I'm going to get a retinal scan. They're going to have to share a bathroom because it is so crazy.
It's mad. I know.
So I'm like, and how hard is it to aim? It's a big basin. You can't. What are you doing?
I think they try to draw letters up in there, and they trying to do all of that, Tamron.
I don't.
Okay,
Well, they're
creative.
They're going to let her up their own bathroom because they're both to be banned in a minute for mine. You heard it here. Breaking news.
I think my grown kids would even throw Cheerios in there again just to make it happen. I really do. Just see if they can aim good. All right. The thing I love, but most people hate, is blank.
Oh. Ooh,
You gotta think on that one.
I love roasted bone marrow.
Oh, girl.
Okay. You know what? I'm there with you. I'm totally there with you, Tamron. That's delicious.
I'm a carnivore.
Okay, Zach. No, you're not. Zach is not. Tell me
Zach,
why.
It's
You like
delicious.
bone marrow? It's
yeah,
delicious.
I do. It's so good.
Is it?
Oh,
I've never
yeah.
had it.
You've
I
never
got-
had
do you
it?
have
You
your-
get that?
Do you have your
I don't know,
4-year-old
but I
eating
will
bone
eat it.
marrow? My
No, he
3-year-old will eat bone marrow. It's amazing.
Oh, my Lord.
It's so good. I love roasted
Okay.
bone marrow because it gets all gelatinous and you put on bread. I'm a country kid, so I love. I eat. I'm a carnivore. I eat my meat medium rare or rare.
Okay,
I'm a carnivore.
okay.
I'm a carnivore.
Well,
I know
I'm
it's
Southern
terrible.
too. Like we put ham hocks and ham
Oh,
bones
yes.
and all that
Oh,
and
my
everything too.
God.
Okay.
Yes,
So I'm
yes.
gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to try that.
It's delicious.
Okay.
Well,
we
everybody
used
else
to eat
hates it. I
chicken
love it.
livers too. We used to eat livers.
I do.
Did y'all eat
I
livers?
love liver. I
Okay.
eat goose.
Okay.
I eat what they call it, foie gras. I know a lot of people may not agree with it, but I do. I eat everything.
Okay, here we go. All right, I've learned something new today. All right, the most dangerous thing I've ever done is blank.
Ooh, does that count dating? No. Most dangerous thing I've ever done. I'm bungee.
Dating is dangerous.
It is dangerous. The most dangerous thing I think would probably be I parasailed in Cancun and the parasail
Oh,
broke
Lord.
and I flew out to sea. I literally, the thing broke. I was and this is the best part. I was engaged to the guy at the time who'd take me on the trip. He was on the boat and at the time, they parasail, they drive and you go off the boat. It snapped. He did not jump off to try and save me. I broke up with him before we made it to land. I called it off. Yes, I did.
That was God speaking to you on that one too.
Not just speaking. When my body slapped that water, that was God going, wake up, get out of this. No.
Oh my God, I would die. Anyway, okay, here we go. I am an unpaid spokesperson for blank.
Oh my gosh. That's eyelashes. Because I'm
okay.
I have no eyelash company, but because I cry on my show constantly, I'm always referring to my lashes flying up. I think I'm an unpaid spokesperson for any kind of lash company in the world.
Okay,
That's random.
I think no, it's great. Tamron's our best rapid fire yet. Okay,
Yeah.
If I could name a new holiday, it would be called blank, and it would celebrate blank.
It would be Let Me Sleep Day. And you would be required to leave me alone to sleep a minimum of 10 hours. I don't want to hear nothing. Let me sleep day. Don't call me. Don't write me. Don't even think my name. I don't even want you to think my name on Let Me Sleep Day.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. The best decision I made in the last 24 hours is blank.
To do this podcast with you and hang out with you.
No, I love you.
It's true. I love you. I love you. Easy decision. Best decision.
All right. I'm going to claim that and just receive it. All right.
It's true.
Couple more. I wash my hair every blank days.
Every 2 days. Every 2 days.
Okay.
Because they use a lot of product on my hair. And the fun fact, as you all know, there's a difference in black hair and other hair, And so hair, I can't shampoo it too much because it'll make it dry. There's your cultural fact for the day. But I do it with Johnny does my hair. He's been my hairdresser since, hairstylist. Since he was 18, 19, he's now 44.
Lord have mercy. Wow. Oh my gosh, Tam.
I raised only break we've ever had.
That's your brother.
He did Michelle Obama's hair for 8 years in the White House. It's the only breakup we ever had. She stole my hairstylist and I got him back.
Well, it's Michelle Obama. You got to let him go. You got to let him go.
If you're going to lose to somebody, lose to her.
Go to the first lady. There you go. The best thing about being a talk show host is blank.
Oh, you get to meet so many different people and no 2 days are the same.
Mm-mm. The hardest thing about being a talk show is blank.
Sometimes you got to go there and ask people questions that they don't necessarily want to talk about, but people, they want to, I respect, people's privacy. I respect a lot of things, but we've had some hard-hitting interviews where it's not always easy to ask people certain questions, but that's the job. That's the job.
My celebrity crush is blank.
Yeah. Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony.
Really?
I know, it's so random.
A good one. No, that is such a good one.
Mark,
you have to tell why. You have to tell why.
I just
Spill that tea.
I think he is so. When I see him sing and his body, the way he moves, he's so
sexy.
He's so sexy. He really is. He's a very sexy man. Oh my God.
That's a good one. That's a great one.
Your random fire go give me the voice over here.
No, it's not, honey. No, it's not.
Have you met him, Tamron?
Listen.
Have you met him?
I briefly at the Today Show many years ago. And
Mark Anthony, call Tamron. She needs you on the show, honey. Call her. Okay, here we go. My favorite fast food is blank.
Oh,
okay. Don't give me bone marrow. I want like churches.
Quarter pounder.
I want. Okay.
Quarter pounder with cheese, no onions, a Bart's root beer. That's it.
Nice.
Yes. Yes. Now I know my friends and family are going to scream because a Whataburger is my ultimate, but because they don't have Whataburger in New York, I have to deal with other things. But on my deathbed, there will be Bluebell ice cream, cookies and cream, and a Whataburger on the side. But
now, do you like Big Mac?
No,
like
quarter pounder. I just do quarter pounder. Like if I'm gonna do, I only do quarter pounder. But Whataburger is the best fast food ever, and then a quarter pounder. Quarter pounder with cheese. I'm a burger girl. If I could eat a burger every day of my life, I would eat a burger.
I do it. I would do it in a heartbeat too. I'm right with you. I've been
trying to live a little longer for this baby.
All right. Things change when that happens. Okay, one last question. One last rapid fire. My faith is blank to me.
My faith is the guiding light that allows me to live this journey beyond my dreams, and it is everything to me.
And all right, y'all, you can connect with Tamron Hall at Tamron Hall on all her social media platforms. And you've got to pre-order her new book. But I would suggest going to get the first one and then going to pre-order to get that one and read it. And then pre-order this new book, Watch Where They Hide. It's available March 12th. And y'all watch her every day on the Tamron Hall show. I watch her. If I can't watch her, I do the whole little, it's not called TiVo. What's it called again? What's it called?
DVR. We call DVR.
That's it. DVR in it, honey. And I'm streaming it at night. I love you, girl. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
You're such a blessing.
Thank
you are the same. And Zach, you're not so bad yourself.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, Tamron, call us to come up eat, and we'll bring our Dawn dishwashing sub, girl.
Done.
As many of you know, I am dealing with a little bit of this Bells Palsy thing going on, but I got to say, it has been the biggest blessing because of all of you have poured out your love, your encouragement, your prayers. I just think it's this community that we've built is so powerful. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because it has meant so much to me. I believe it's been part of why I'm healing faster than ever. It is because of you. I want to thank you. We have a listener that called in, right, Zach?
Yeah, we have a voicemail from a listener.
Okay, I've got to hear this.
I want to play it for you, and I want to start doing this more regularly. I think at the end of every episode, I'd love to have a listener message just like about, because we're building community here on the Kim Gravel Show.
That's all we want to do, yeah.
This is all about loving who you are, and this voicemail to me just meant so much, and I want everyone to hear it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Kim Gravel, this is your friend over here in Texas. I am with you, girl. I had Bells Palsy 40 years ago. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. You are so determined. I love your personality. You're going to make it. Remember, Jesus has your hand. He's your healer. He's going to take care of you. But honey, you at the same time have to take care of Kim here on this earth. Listen to your doctor. Get rest. But keep on believing, girl. Keep on pushing. But you got to take care of that body. You've got to rest those nerves in that face, honey. I know. I've been there and I've walked in your shoes. And when I saw you, I cried. Because you're my sister. You mean a lot to us. We love you. Please take care, Kim. Take care of Kim. We love you. God bless you.
No, my Lord. Y'all, that is exactly what it's about, Zach. Can I just say, I feel like after hearing that, I could just move mountains. I mean, see, that's what it's about. When you have community and you lift each other up, be a part of our community with us. I love you too, by the way. I love you too, and I'm praying for you. This is about lifting each other up. And even like now that I need the support, this means so much to me, but y'all, we all need each other. So, I want you to really think about like going to lwya.com, love who you are, get on our email list, go to the Kim Gravel Show. It's called give the information, Zach, where people can go and be a part of our community.
Yeah, go to kimgravelshow.com, sign up for our mailing list, sign up for our community. You can leave us a voicemail right on the site. You can leave us a message.
Yeah.
You can also, I have to pull this up on my phone. You can leave us a voicemail by calling 404-913-6460. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. We love to hear from you.
Oh my gosh. And that's what we're here doing. Sisters standing together. Sisters and Zach standing together.
There you go. Sisters and Zach standing together. That's it. That's how we end.
That's how we end. Bye. And I am TikTok. Let me say what I can say. I am a TikToking. I got to be careful what I say. I'm TikTok loving.
I'm actually turning on my do not disturb. Hoping and praying that my child does not burst in here.
Honey, let him burst in. He's a cutie patootie.
She's eating bone marrow, and it's like, I'm into it.
Okay. We'll talk about that another day.
Bone marrow is delicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm not talking about that.
It's all right. I'm out.
Okay. All right, love you. If you like this episode, I got one more you're going to love. This episode is sponsored by your cell phone addiction. Did you know you are allowed to actually drive without texting? No wonder everyone says that I'm a bad driver. Did you know that the world is filled with beautiful and amazing things? Probably not, because if you're like me, you're always on your phone. Because your friend just posted a new video of her pet, a hedgehog? What? I don't understand. Okay, if you find yourself thinking in emoji, if you need to Google to see what trees actually look like, then you're probably addicted to your cell phone, just like me. We here at the Kim Gravel Show, we can help you. Just follow this one simple step. Put down your dang cell phone, y'all. Seriously, people, put down the phone and be present. Now count to 5. 1, 2. Okay, that's long enough. I can't stay away from my phone now. And now pick up your phone and enjoy the Kim Gravel Show. Because Lord knows, putting down my phone is too hard, y'all. I can't live without this thing.
This is the Kim Gravel Show. There's no book that gives you a game plan about how to be old.
I don't care. I'm going to do me.
So I have to tell you, I was born belligerent.
I'm feeling I'm running out of time to accomplish the things I want to accomplish.
I want to change how we think about age.
Are they sagging and dragging, or you just don't even care?
I don't care. What people don't understand about influencing, it's actually pretty controlling.
There's so many takeaways. I'm taking notes listening to you talk. You are the best guest we've ever had on the podcast. All right, y'all. Our guest today is a fantastic, amazing writer who wrote the perfect intro for herself on her Substack. I got to read it because I was blown away by it. She wrote, "I'm Lyn Slater, also known as an accidental icon." Love it. Reformed social media influencer. I can relate. Writer, activist, social worker, former professor. Okay, and someone who's just an ordinary woman with an interesting life. She's written a book called How to Be Old, and her book comes out on March 12th. Welcome to the show. Okay, Kim, let's do that one more time, Zach. We forgot to tell Lyn. We forgot to tell Lyn.
Here's the thing. I missed my cue. And that's
you
on
did.
me.
Zach is not a stage performer, okay? He is a producer.
No. Well, one of the chapters in my book is about improvisation.
There you go.
Going with it. So let's do it.
Lyn, okay. Zach is going to read that chapter. So let me read that last line again. Lyn, you take a beat because we have something special for you, okay?
Okay.
Zach, I'm going to start. Her book comes out. Here we go. I love it.
I'm keeping all of this in. All of this is staying in. 100%. It's staying in.
Of course.
All right. Go ahead, Kim.
Her book comes out on March 12th. Welcome to the show.
Ooh, Lyn Slater.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you for that.
Now, Lyn, that's an intro, isn't it?
That is an intro.
Thank you. That's Zach. That's Zach's specialty. See, that's what he's good at.
Yeah, just in the moment, I'll choke every time. That's what's
I
up.
love it. But this is the thing. I mean, that's what life's about, is like making mistakes and moving through them, right, Lyn? And your book, How to Be Old, I think that's the title of all titles. How did you come up with that book title? Tell us about it. Tell us about the book.
That's a long story.
I know. I hear you.
Anyway, I decided at some point after I turned 60 that I was going to embrace being old. And I was not going to be afraid of it. I was not going to let people make me feel bad about it. I was not going to let people tell me that I don't have a seat at the table anymore.
Yes.
And I knew that I had to do it in a way that was not going to turn people off. Because How to Be Old is sort of like, get with the program, kids. Because it's actually the best time of your life, or could be.
But you know what, Lyn? I mean, first of all, I am in love with you. We are going to be BFFs. You're just getting started, Sister Sledge. My mom is 76 and is fabulous. I mean, talk about reinvention. She's so much like you. She's gorgeous. She's fabulous. She's beautiful. She's fashionable. And she's now a model for me on QVC. And you said your mother taught you how much fun it was to be a belligerent woman. Okay, first of all, we got to define what you mean by belligerent woman. I get it, because I'm one too. But what do you mean by that? Because my mom is one too, girl. She's taught me that too.
Well, I think being belligerent means that you're not going to do something because somebody is telling you to.
Come on.
Especially if it doesn't fit for you or your life.
When did you learn to be belligerent? Because it's taken me about 52 years, because that's how old I am. And so finally I'm like, I don't care. Forget it. I'm going to do me. How long did it take you to get there?
So I have to tell you, I was born belligerent. and the story my mom tells about my birth is that I was a month overdue. I didn't want to be born, and they finally had to pull me out with forceps.
Oh my gosh.
I was like from day one saying, I'm writing the script. And if you try to make me do something I'm not ready to do, it's not going to happen.
But you know what, Lyn, so can you develop this belligerency, so to speak, though? Can you become a woman who, because Lyn, you know, I'm in the throes of 2 teenage kids. I mean, you have children, grandchildren.
God bless you.
You know, like I got a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. I never sit on a clean toilet seat. So I'm just saying, 2 boys. And so I just, you know, as women, we're having to be so many things to so many different people.
Right.
Now it's your age and your state of life. What is it like to have this freedom to be free and belligerent and fabulous? You know what I'm saying? Like, help us get there.
Well, I love that you said that. Because recently I wrote an essay about this, and I was like, you know, when you are younger, there's books about how to be a parent, how to find your dream job, how to, you know, be in a relationship, how to talk to a man. And there's no book that gives you a game plan about how to be old. And what we now know is that you have to start preparing for that when you're young.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And what I realized, because here I am, I'm 70. I always had a dream of being a writer. I'm publishing my first literary type book. I did publish an academic book, but I'm getting my dream that I had to put aside because I was raising kids, I was having to make a living, I was taking care of my parents who were older. I'm the oldest, taking care of siblings. So I wish that when I was in the middle of that, when I was in my 30s and 40s, that I knew how my life could be when I was old, when I could have my dreams and be the person I wanted to be. And I would have said to myself at that time, it's just on the shelf. Just put it on the shelf. You're not throwing it away. You're going to take that down one day. You will have it. So just get through today and you will have it. And to me, that is the worst part of making young people be afraid to be old, is you're denying them that.
But Lyn, okay, this is what you've just dropped on us is a bit of a huge bombshell, because what I'm hearing you say is resonating with my soul right now, because what you're saying, because I'm always thinking I'm running out of time. I don't know if you ever felt that way, like, because I'm 52 and I'm thinking I'm not, I mean, I have a fabulous family, a wonderful career. I'm so blessed, right? But let's put the blessing on the back burner right now and talk. I'm feeling I'm running out of time to accomplish the things I want to accomplish. What I'm hearing you say is, Kim, don't worry about it. It's coming. Be patient. Is that what you're saying? Tell me what you mean by it's coming.
That's what I'm saying, is that there will come a time in your life where nothing is ever too late until the day you die. And even, I joke around about reinventing myself over and over and over, which I've done throughout my life. And I'm basically telling my family, I'm going to reinvent how I die even. So we're going to talk about how I'm going to reinvent that.
Wow.
So even at that moment, there's an opportunity to do it different, to do it the way that you want to do, to be... my mother was a very belligerent woman in how she wanted to end her life and how she wanted to live during that end. And we had to help her fight for it. So I think what I am saying, and again, if you do what you need to do when you're young, which basically is have a healthy lifestyle, have a purpose, that you will set up for yourself an opportunity to have all of these deferred dreams, all of these, it's too late to happen for you. And I don't want to minimize that some of us have a lot of privilege as older people, and some of us do not. It's a struggle. So I think we have to acknowledge that. But I think for younger people, you have an opportunity now. We know so much scientifically to intervene in how you're going to be old. And so that starts when you're 30. It starts when you're 25, because we're aging from the minute we're born. But we live in a culture and a society that value youth and value beauty. And so people put all their money and energy in that. I mean, I think I heard some outrageous figure of women spending like $500,000 on skin products, over their lifetime. Like, what if you put that in an account for when I take it off the shelf day? What if that money is there for you to do that thing that you always feared it would never come to you? That's how I want to change how we think about age. And I'm seeing things like it's killing me. I have a 9-year-old granddaughter, and now I'm seeing things on TikTok that girls that age are doing skincare.
Retinol, girl. It is so damaging to their skin. You're so right. Lyn, this is what I also want to talk. I want to talk to you about how it's your age, even at my age, 52. I mean, that's no spring chicken, girl. How at our age, do we dream again? But we're going to talk about it right after we get back. More with Lyn after this. I want you to think about it, Lyn. How we can dream at our age, dream again. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all. Hands up. Raise your hand if you used to watch Friends. Okay. Do you remember how iconic Jennifer Aniston's hair was? I remember the Rachel. It was so good. It was an actual haircut. Her hair always looked so healthy and full. And did you know that she has her own line of hair care products? This episode is proudly brought to you by Lola V, an award-winning hair care line founded by Jennifer Aniston. And here's why I personally love Lola V. They use high-quality plant-based ingredients with no silicones, no sulfates, no parabens, and no gluten, okay? They have amazing products to use in the shower, after the shower, that will give you silkier, shinier, better-looking hair. I love their restorative shampoo and conditioner, and their glossing detangler makes my hair look even better than it did, back in the 90s when Trends was on. Unlock the Jennifer Aniston approved hair at lolav.com. And you'll get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use code KIM at checkout. That's 15% off of your order at LOLAVIE.com and use promo KIM, K-I-M. Please note you can only use one promo code per order and the discounts can't be combined. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. So please let them know we sent you and support our show. And also send me a photo of how great your hair looks. I'd love to see it. You're going to love it. I know I do. Y'all know I have lost weight and I'm trying to stay healthier. And that's why I'm so glad to have AG1 sponsoring the show, because I only want to work with brands that I love and that have worked for me. And I love AG1. Since I started drinking AG1, I feel more focused. I feel like I have more energy. It supports my immune system. I'm not getting sick as much. So my kids' germs won't get me sick as often, because I've got 2 teenage boys. So if you want to try it for yourself, then try this. Go to drinkag1.com/KGS, and you're going to get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Seriously, y'all, AG1 is a nutritional supplement that's got vitamins, minerals, probiotics, stress adaptogens, superfoods, mushrooms, and nutrients to support body, brain, and gut health. And did I mention that AG1 supports healthy aging, healthy skin, healthier hair, and even nails? It's so good for you, and it tastes so good, and it's really, really easy. I just take 1 scoop of my AG1 and mix it in water every single morning and drink it up. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily. And that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner here on the Kim Gravel Show. So if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase, exclusively at drinkag1.com/KGS. That's drinkag1.com/KGS. Y'all check it out and enjoy that healthier lifestyle.
Oh my gosh, we're back. We're back with Lyn talking about how to be old. And Lyn, we were talking before the break about dreaming, and you're so inspiring. You're so contagious with this. You're passionate, but you're not just passionate. I mean, you kind of like a modern day preacher going, look, girl, this is what you need to do. Lyn, how can people listening right now who are in their late 40s, 50s, 60s, even in their 70s, what do you say to that woman who wants to dream again or has a dream that's been like, buried in their deep within their heart that they want to accomplish before, they get too old?
So I'll share a little bit about what I did, because I think this is how you start doing it. Think about something that you're really interested in and that makes you happy.
Okay.
So for me, when I turned 60, I said, you know what? I really am interested in fashion, but I had not a clue of what I could do in it. So my first piece of advice is put yourself in a space where you can meet people and learn more about that thing that is your dream or was your dream. And so what I learned from taking classes in a fashion school was, I didn't want to be a fashion designer because that would take too long. Because I thought at first, well, maybe I'll be a fashion designer. Maybe
when
I'll
did you take that class? How old were you when you took that fashion design class?
That's when I did that when I turned 60.
Wow.
I went to FIT. I went to continuing ed classes. I was the oldest person in the room, but all the professors and all the students said, you have amazing style. You should start a fashion blog. Now, I had no idea that that's what I would do until I put myself in that space, right? So if you want to be a musician, go and take continuing ed in a jazz improv class. Just put yourself in and things will start coming to you. And so I left that year saying, okay, that's something I could do. I know how to do a website, because what you're going to find when you put yourself in your new space is that everything you did in your life up until that point, you're going to bring to your dream.
It serves you.
It serves you. I think the hard part is sort of figuring out, okay, how do I put those to use in a new space? And so for me, I had all these talents over the years, but I didn't think they would be applicable to fashion. And what I found out was these students and professors gave me a place that I could put all my experience and all my passion. And then it's a question of, for me, I didn't have any goals. I just said, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have fun. And I just started chasing these really fun things. Like I've been in music videos. The most fun things I never even got paid for. And it really didn't matter to me because I had a full-time job. But I was just needing to be creative and to start hatching something new. And so that, to me, that's the first point, is you don't have to say, I'm going to go to school and be a textile designer. You don't have to know that. But what you have to do is go to a textile exhibition, take a class in the history of textile, and then something will come. And you have to be open to it. It's a lucky accident, as I say.
A lucky accident. Is this what you're talking about? The power of design thinking? Like, what is the power of design thinking and the way, like, fashion can change the way you feel about yourself? Because is that what you picked up on when you were at FIT, or is this something that happened with the blog? Because I love that the power of design thinking that's a really cool way of saying it.
Well, I think I picked up on the power of design thinking from hanging out with innovators because they use design thinking. And I don't think we use design thinking well.
What do you mean by design thinking? Like, what does that mean?
So I think what it means is that you see a problem, but you don't want to do the usual business as usual way of solving it. And so you do these different exercises to figure out how could we make something innovative and new and different to solve this problem. And I feel like we're very much still using very old ways of thinking and designing for older people. And so for me, I think that means that we have to be realistic. Right? So right now in aging, we have these two poles. We have one saying, your life is over, you're going to be demented, you're going to be depressed, you're a drain on society, you're ruining the world for young people, blah, 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 blah. And then on the other, you have these people who, have a lot of resources and
have
had them their whole life, and they're running marathons and they're having these fabulous lives. They don't look young. And the fact is, that's about 3% of all aging people. And that the vast majority of us are in the middle. And so in design thinking, there's this little exercise. It's called the rose, the thorn, and the bud to get you to think creatively.
Ooh.
And so I apply that to aging. Like the rose is, I can't tell you how many good things there are about aging, particularly that you don't care what anybody else thinks, number one, which is very freeing. But there are some things that aren't great about it, right? It takes me a bit in the morning now to get that arthritis going or whatever. But the bud is that if we think creatively, and basically that's how I used fashion, if we think creatively, we can come up with really exciting ways to meet the challenges that come from aging. And so here's like a little tiny example. My mother, we gave her one of those medical necklaces, right? In case she fell. Every time I went to visit her, it was hanging on her bedpost. She didn't want to wear it. She didn't want to say to the world, I'm not independent, I'm old. So now I have an Apple Watch, like millions of people. And if I fall, it says, did you take a fall? Do we need to call help? That's how we have to be thinking. That's
the design part. That's the bud
design part. That's
Love
the
it.
design part. That's the design part.
You're safe, you're secure, you're supported, but you're cool because you have an Apple Watch.
That's right.
Love it.
Because that's our generation, right? We are not aging like my mother was aging.
No.
We came up in the 70s. We were burning bras. We were having demonstrations. Hey, cohabitation, which is a really big thing for older people now, we invented it. Free love. So why does anybody...
Yes, there's free love up there at the retirement homes. There's a lot of free love, Lyn.
Exactly.
There's a lot of STDs, I think, at the retirement home these days.
No, there is. There is. It's like one of the fastest rates because people don't think that we are sexual. And so you go to your doctor. You go to your doctor and they're not asking you about STDs. They're not asking you about partners like they did when you were young. They're not educating you about safe sex because when a lot of people were young, it was before we had to be worried about what safe sex meant, except about being pregnant. But yeah, it's dangerous when you don't accept the reality of how it really is.
So it's dangerous when you don't accept some of the thorns.
Yes.
That come with the beauty of aging, correct?
That's
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
I love it. And I need to really start thinking that way because as you're talking, Lyn, you're educating me. You're teaching me. Did you like being an influencer? Like, has social media and the speed of content changing our brains all the time? How did you adjust to that? Because like now that actually, I think, is there a college degree in being an influencer? I mean, like I talk to young people, I train young people in, and they're like, I want to be an influencer. I'm like, is that a real job? I'm like, hello. I mean, what happened to being a mechanic or electrician or, even a college professor? Is influencer a gig now, a job?
I quit it because
And there you go, Lyn. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped being an influencer because when I first started, I did this because I wanted to be a creative person. I wanted to learn about fashion. I wanted to express myself. And in the beginning, I would say for the first 6 or 7 years, it was a lot of fun. But then what happened is that Instagram changed and began to be a place where you were doing a lot of selling of things. And I was doing a lot of selling of things. And one of what people don't understand about influencing is that it's actually pretty controlling. That once you get into selling, that people are telling you how to take pictures, what you should say, and okay, put your little spin on it. But if you don't do what the brand wants you to do, they're like, you need to reshoot this. You need to do that. And when I was doing my own thing, right, independently, I was free to be as creative and amazing as I wanted to be. And so for me, I found myself, and you have to be on social media every hour of the day because you have to be engaging, you have to be posting. And I found myself becoming depressed, anxious, just deadened. And that's why I quit.
But Lyn, do you think that had to do with your age too? Do you think you looked at it and said, "I'm not willing to give up control of this. Like I like my control of my creativity." Is that a something that's empowering that comes with being older? Like, bump that. I'm not doing that.
I think you feel more comfortable doing it when you're old, but I have done it throughout my life. And
that's a good lesson.
Sometimes I did it in ways that got me in deep trouble.
Me too, girl.
Let's hear that story. I want that story.
Me too, girl. Yeah. That's that belligerent.
I had a lot of detentions and,
not you, Lyn. No way.
Me. Yes.
Okay.
My friends call me the good, bad girl.
Oh, good. That's a song. We need to write. That's it. Your next career is music. What's the problem with saying 60 is the new 40? And why is it wrong to look at it that way? Because at 50, I'm like, is 50 the new 30? I hope so. Am I thinking about it wrong?
I think when people say 60 is the new 40, the implication is that being younger is better. And I think we should say 60 means now, with all these advances, that I am probably going to live 10 to 20 years longer than I may have. So what can I do with that? What can I do that is going to make me feel like a creative person with a purpose? And for me, I'm asking, how can I make the world better during that time? How do I want to live during that time? So rather than turning back the clock and seeing it as, we're getting old, it's like, I'm 60, I have this amazing gift now of extra years. What am I going to do with that? And that can be as exciting as when you were in your 20s, figuring out, what am I going to do with my life? It's like being given another life.
Okay, there's one thing I've got to ask you, because it's a thread that has gone. I could talk to you literally. I cannot wait to read your book. Y'all have got to get it. I'll tell you how to get it here in a little bit. You have been saying this one word, I think you've said it like 20 times. And it's one that every time you say it, a little piece of me jumps on the inside. You keep saying the word creative. Lyn, how important is it? I don't care how old you are, is it to be creative? I keep hearing that word. Is that something that has really given you this outlook? Like, what is it about that word for you? And why does it matter to us?
I think it's part of resilience. And what I like about it is that you can do it without money. And I think a lot of people think that being creative is like, having a painting in an art gallery. But this is something my mother taught me, and I really respect her about it, is that in her life every day, as a woman who had 6 children and, we were very working class, she had to figure out how to make do with less. She had to figure out how to make something exciting without money. And that kind of creativity allows you to be resilient. It allows you to have hope. It allows you to be optimistic.
I got to write that down. Hold on. You said creativity allows you to be hopeful.
Yes.
Oh, girl.
And I think
I'm writing it.
I think that if people stopped who think they're not creative and they stopped and thought about what they did every day, that maybe you're making a recipe and you put in an ingredient that's not on the recipe. That's being creative. And so all of those small acts of creativity, it's what makes life bearable some days. It doesn't require a lot of resources. It's there for everybody to have. And I think that when you're being creative, you're feeling a lot of joy and you're feeling pleasure, even if your overall situation may not be the best. But it really is something that has sustained me throughout my life. And as a social worker, I worked with women and girls who experienced trauma for most of my career. That was very hard. And the way that I would manage it is I would go and take a class in improvisational theater or, creative writing. And I would then bring that back into my work as a way to do it in a different way that then helped me to move on. It makes your life new and exciting and fresh if you are creative and if you bring creativity to your life.
Okay, there's so many takeaways. I'm taking notes listening to you talk, Lyn. So I feel like getting your book
I'm
is
still a professor, I guess.
You are teaching me, girl. And I think I'm going to get your book and it's going to be one of them highlight tab, yellow dog ear moments. But right after this, I'm going to do something fun I do with every guest, Lyn. It's called rapid fire questions. So, get your rapid fire on. We'll be right back more with Lyn right after this.
Okay.
Eating better is so easy with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. I am so glad that Factor sponsors the show because I love eating my Factor meals. I've got to tell you, and when you sign up at factormeals.com/Kim50 and you use code Kim50, you get 50% off. And you are supporting yourself with great food, and you're supporting this show. So thank you so much. There are so many choices. It's fresh, never frozen meals delivered right to your door. The food is restaurant quality and dietitian approved, and it's ready to go literally, y'all, in 2 minutes with no prep and no mess. But none of that matters if it doesn't taste good, and Factor meals are delicious. I'm telling you, I fight my kids for them, okay? Y'all, they have over 35 different options to choose from every single week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. And there are more than 60 add-ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long, like snacks, breakfast foods. I'm telling you, the sky's the limit here. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals. Head to factormeals.com/Kim50 and use code Kim50 to get 50% off. That's code Kim50 at factormeals.com/Kim50 to get 50% off and start eating healthy in the easiest way possible today. We're back, and I've just, during the break, I'm just sitting here just telling Lyn how many aha moments I've had sitting here. Y'all got to get her book. But before we go there, Lyn, every guest I have, I do what I call rapid fire. So I'm going to read a question, and the first thing that comes up comes out. Okay, don't hold back.
We could be in trouble here.
No,
what are the censor guidelines?
We've got a bleep button if we need it.
I'll beep it right out, Lyn.
Okay.
But this is the thing, Lyn. I have a feeling you belligerent woman, you're going to have no issues with this. Here we go.
Rapid fire questions.
If you had to flee the country tonight, where would you go?
Amsterdam.
What? Okay, you have to tell me why. That's.
I went there for the first time in my life recently, but my grandfather was born there.
Okay.
And my family never talked about the past. It was very mum. And there was some indication that my great-grandparents had a hotel and a cafe in Amsterdam. And when I went to, of course, we didn't believe it. It was like, whatever. I went. The most incredibly gorgeous cafe that was once the hub of intellectual, cultural, creative life. So I want to go to Amsterdam and sit in that cafe every day.
Yeah, I'm going with you. We're taking your book and you're going to be doing the professory thing with me all day. Okay, here we go. Who would you want to be trapped in an elevator with? That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say Rei Kawakubo.
Ooh. Do tell.
She is the designer who is behind Comme des Garçons.
Oh,
and
Lord.
She's in her 90s. And she completely blew the fashion world apart when she first showed her work in Paris. And she is a woman who has been talk about belligerent women, right? She has been belligerent her whole life, and I would just love to hear more about who she is and how she thinks, and it would be amazing.
Okay, can I just say now I want to be trapped in the elevator with y'all?
Here's a quick story. Her first boutique, she had no mirrors because she said you need to feel how the clothes feel on your body, not think about how they look.
Ooh.
You should use that on QVC, Kim. That's money.
I'm going to say, I can't even pronounce because Lyn said it with such elegance, and I say it with the Southern twang. So we have to work on, the, what is it called? The eloquence. What is that? What is it called? When you, how you pronounce it. All right, we're moving on. Here we go. What's one thing you do every single day that you wish you didn't have to ever do again? Oh, I could think of many things.
Let's see. That's hard. I guess clean up my house.
Yeah, right?
I hate it.
I hate it too.
But do you clean every day, Lyn?
Well, that's a good question, but yes, because I can't stand things to be disorganized and cluttered. So, yeah.
Well, and you lived in 600 square feet in New York City for a long time, right? So,
yes. Now I'm in a house.
Yeah.
I hate unloading the dishwasher. So, I mean, there's several things I hate cleaning the toilet seats. I hate shaving my armpits. I mean, there's a lot. Okay, we could go on for days for that one.
That was the funny thing about Accidental Icon, because when I was at the height of it and everybody thought I had this glamorous life, I was still cleaning my own toilet.
Right. Hello. But were you the only were you the only one sitting and using your own toilet? That's the question.
At the time, my partner.
Okay,
Calvin.
There you go. Okay, so I mean, then that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother. We could go down that rabbit trail. Okay, who would you hire to narrate or act in the story of your life?
Oh boy,
who would play you, Lyn?
Frances McDermott.
Ooh, good one.
It's a really good one.
Really good one.
I think she could pull it off.
She could pull it off. She's belligerent.
Yep.
Okay, which would you choose, money or fame?
Money.
Right?
Fame, I had my little brush with fame.
Y'all, Lyn said money. She didn't even just say it like normal.
She didn't even hesitate. That was a great answer.
No.
I agree with you, Lyn, 100%. What commercial jingle from your childhood will you always remember and be able to sing at any time?
Now you're asking me to use my memory, and I'm 70. All right. That's where technology comes in. I can go on Google when I can't think of it.
The same here.
Let me think.
I know, these are
Childhood
good.
Jingle.
Do you have one, Kim? Well, Lyn's thinking.
Hot Pockets. I remember that one.
I think that was still
and
on.
You know what, Lyn? Because I have a fashion line on QVC, and so I always say "got pockets" every time I tell it because I can't do anything without pockets. And so the Hot Pockets, I remember that.
I'm drawing a blank on this one.
What about a TV theme song? Do y'all remember those from your childhood? Because they used to be like an
Bonanza.
Oh, Bonanza was good.
Yes. I remember that theme song.
Bonanza was good. We used to watch it every week. Yeah, with my dad.
Yeah, I was actually more of a reader than a TV watcher when I was a kid.
That's why you're a professor and so smart.
And that tracks.
And that's why I'm doing a podcast. Okay, here we go. What's the most boring sport to you? Oh, I've got many of those. I know.
I would have to say football.
Agreed. And people love it. People love it, but I don't get it.
But I find it very boring.
I know. And baseball's not exactly my favorite either. I mean, that game, that's forever. Okay. Would you ever pick up, or have you ever picked up a hitchhiker?
No, but I've hitchhiked.
Oh, so you were the hitchhikee.
Yes, I was a hitchhikee throughout my college years.
Where did you go to college, Lyn? Do you mind me asking?
I went to a small all-girls Catholic college in Newport, Rhode Island. Salve Regina. I have to say, I have 2 masters, a PhD, and the bachelor's I got from Salve. And I probably never had as rigorous an education as I had there.
Wow.
Because at the time, it was all girls, and it was around the women's movement. And their whole thing was, we are going to train your brains for you to compete in this world as equals.
Go, girl.
And yes. And I also learned how to break rules in a good way.
Yeah. I get it.
Because it was very, very restrictive still. Like, we had what they call parietals, where you couldn't have boys in your room. And well, we figured it out.
I was going to say, but I'm willing to bet you $1 to a donut you had boys in the room. Just saying.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's a whole nother book and a whole nother podcast. Here we go. What's the most beautiful garment you've ever owned? Oh, right? You fashionista.
That's hard. That's hard. But I would have to say that for me, it is a silk Yohji Yamamoto coat.
Ooh. That was a pretty penny.
I do all my designer's consignment. You have to remember, I was a social worker and a professor.
Right. So, and I have to remember you wanted money over fame, so I get it. Okay, what is the most comfortable garment you've ever owned? The most comfortable?
Oh, without a doubt, my overalls.
Oh, okay, Lyn.
Which is what I basically wear almost every day now.
Every day. That's the uniform, right? Okay, when you walk in, do you immediately, bra on or bra off? You know what I mean?
Off. Off.
Just unleash those puppies.
Fact, I'll let you in on a secret.
Oh, no.
This is another good part of being old. At some point, you give up the bra.
What age?
I've probably not worn it for the last 2 years.
God bless. I'm almost there, girl.
It's great.
I'm almost there. Are they sagging and dragging, or you just don't even care?
I don't care.
You are the best guest we've ever had on the podcast. What does being an icon mean to you?
That's it. That's the answer.
I guess that says it. I guess I never set out to be an icon.
Right.
I was never comfortable.
Can you, though? I don't think you can, really.
I know, and I guess it was a very surprising thing. I was kind of shocked by it, and I had a very mixed feelings about it, right? Because one part of you wants to be seen, but when you're seen, it comes with a lot of, you must know this, sort of negative stuff.
Yeah. People are hurt. People are looking for attention. Yeah, you're right.
But I think, what an icon should be is somebody who's showing us sort of where we need to go in the world.
Right.
So that it's kind of like a beacon, somebody who can show us the way to get to where we need to go. And I think when I was being that kind of an influencer and I was helping women and young people see that being old is not something so terrible, that in that way I was being an icon. But I think, icons are also sort of can be false gods. And so the celebrity part of it, I think, was not something that I wanted or enjoyed. So,
but being that beacon, being that lighthouse, that is a positive of it.
Yes. Yes.
I love it.
And
okay.
I wish it could have just stayed that way, but
yeah. Well, that's how us humans are. We're always looking to look up to something or somebody. Yep. Okay, here we go. Who is your celebrity crush? This is an important question.
Okay.
Yeah. The next two are really important. Who is your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush has to be the actress Emma Thompson.
Oh, she is.
Did you see that movie she did?
Yes. Which one? I've seen them all.
The one where she's an older woman and she hires a younger man to have sex with her.
No! What movie is that, girl?
I'm not remembering the name.
I'm looking this up.
Yeah, look it up. Because it's really a great. He teaches her that she's beautiful as an old woman.
I think it was Matilda. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Zach.
Come on.
You're
look
off.
It up.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking.
Okay.
It's taking a second.
Lyn is being belligerent. Don't mess with Lyn.
But I love the reason why I have crushes on actresses like her is that they don't play the game and they just let themselves be older women. They don't try to alter their appearance.
No.
And they're just saying, take me on my talent. Take me on what I'm contributing. And they care enough about themselves to do that. So for me, I'm a fangirl.
I love it. Me too. Now I'm going to go watch that movie. Okay.
Is it What's Love Got to Do with It? Is that it?
No.
No.
It is actually Good Luck to You, Leo Grant.
There it is. That was my next one. Good luck to you, Leo Grant. Yep.
Okay, so I see
You
myself.
got to watch that movie.
I'm going to binge it tonight. Here we go. I see some streaming and some popcorn, and I might be, maybe depending on how you answer this, what's my next thing I'm going to get for watching that movie. What's your favorite junk food? I did it. I said it.
Popcorn.
Okay, popcorn. Now, what's your favorite sweet?
Chocolate.
Any kind?
I like plain old Hershey's chocolate bars.
I do too. I like them with the almonds too. I like a crunch.
The almonds are good.
The almonds are good. Okay. This is my last rapid fire, and then I'm gonna let you go, but I don't want to. But we have to stay connected because you are now my celebrity crush. Now that you are old, what exciting things are you up to next, girl?
Well, I am working very hard at being a writer at this time in my life. And it's something I had lunch with my childhood friend. We've been friends since I was 7. A couple of weeks ago, and she said, whenever anybody asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, you always used to say writer.
Wow.
And I think, as these things happen in life, you have to make a living, so you can't be a full-time writer or whatever it is. And so I realized that I need to do that before I die, that I have to do that thing. And so now I'm really putting a lot of time and attention. I'm really excited. I'm writing a column for our little local newspaper about how to be old where we live. So that is how I want to be living. And I want my life to be balanced. I see my grandchildren quite a lot now because I moved to be close to them. And just spending time in nature, which I appreciate now, especially since the pandemic. So I want to do a life where I am having that dream realized.
And it's never, what did you say? It's never too late to start.
That's right. Never too late to start a dream.
Never too late. All right, so before rapid fire is over, I'm trying something new. I have a special audience rapid fire question for you to answer, audience. What is your dream? If you're on a platform that allows you to comment, drop a comment. Just let me know what your dream is. Or if you're on QVC Plus or Apple, head over to KimGravellShow.com and send me your answer. What is your dream? And you can connect with Lyn Slater on her Instagram at Icon Accidental. Her website is accidentalicon.com, and you have to order her book. I'm telling you right now, How to Be Old, when it drops March 12th next week. You can pre-order it now everywhere books are sold. Lyn, you belligerent thing, you. I love you.
Thank you. This has been so fun.
Will you come back?
Yes, I will.
Okay, you got to come back.
Maybe we'll do something where we take some of the dreams and we talk about how they could be started.
Oh, done and done. Y'all heard that? Rapid fire. What's your dream? Drop it in the comments anywhere you listen to this podcast, and Lyn will come back and tell you how to get it done, hun. Thank you, Lyn. I love you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Lyn.
Mwah. All right. Lyn was amazing. Got to have her back, Zach. Wasn't she fantastic?
She's amazing.
How to be old.
Now
right?
I know how to be
I
old.
need to know that.
So I feel like I'm definitely going to get her book.
She says you got to start now. She says you got to start now. You're in your 30s. You have to start now.
I'm technically middle-aged, apparently, because I'm 37 now. So,
I keep saying that
I'm dealing with that.
I keep saying I'm middle-aged, and Travis says, babe, we're not middle-aged. We're over middle-aged. It's not that much long. We got less life to live than we've had. I was like, oh my God, he's so right. He's so right.
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. I'm learning how to be old from Lyn. And also, I learn a lot from you. Up next, we've got a listener voicemail who has some advice for a past guest that was on the show. Zach, what do we got here?
This is really great. I'm going to play this voicemail. This is a voicemail, and she's talking about an episode we did a long time ago with a woman named Julie, who you gave hot seat coaching to.
I remember Julie.
Yeah, and it's just like, this is such a great voicemail because it's like, again, this community that we have is so powerful. Mm-hmm. We're all trying to help each other. Just check this out.
Okay.
Hi, Kim and Zach. This is Gretchen, and I just watched your last podcast, and I am calling with a suggestion for Julie. Sounds to me like she would be a great 911 dispatcher. I have been doing it for 30 years, and I walk in my calling every time I go in there and answer the phone. I take people's worst day and their crisis and make it better. And that's what we do as 911 dispatchers. It doesn't pay a lot, but it pays the bills. So if you could pass that along as a suggestion to her, she may like doing that as her next step and walking in her calling. And I would like to greatly thank you for helping all of us. Thank you.
My gosh.
Bye.
Amazing, right?
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Okay, that's why you have to call in. That's why you have to email. That's why you have to stay connected. This is a community of people. mostly women, who are shoring each other up. We are those belligerent women, people. We are the women out here that are loving on each other, encouraging each other to love who we are, where we're at. And we're girls here, including Zach. He's a girl's girl too. He's a girl
baby.
dad.
Yeah, and if you want to leave us a message, call us 404-913-6460. Leave us a voicemail. We might play it on the show. We're going to try to do these every week. And if you want to check out that episode that she referenced, it's called Help, I Can't Set Healthy Boundaries, Hot Seat Coaching with Julie. It was from, I think, October last year.
Julie was amazing. You're amazing. Thank y'all so much. We learned so much from it. Make sure you go pick up her book, How to Be Old. It drops in March. Was it March 12th? I'm thinking. It was March 12th.
Something like that. Let's go with March 12th. You should just pre-order it right now. It's next week. It drops next week, and you should pre-order it right now.
Pre-order it right now. We love you so much. And remember, be belligerent. Be creative. And look, never get old. No, that's not what Lyn says. She's saying get old and love it. There you go.
And don't miss your cue.
What is my cue? Oh, that's it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Lyn, if you could give Kim a test, actually, that would be great. I think that would be hilarious.
Oh, my gosh. That's my new word, Zach. I'm going to call every female in my life, are you belligerent? That's my new word. Okay. Lyn.
And don't forget to put powder on. Look, I'm like a reflective mess.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not a grease ball. No.
Nope. Greasy. No powder, Kim.
If you like this episode, I got one more you're going to love.